All right. What's up, Dave? Yes, I am on Epic. Okay, wait, what? It's claiming my YouTube. What is going on? OBS says it has no issues, no dropped frames, but YouTube is saying stream status is poor. I don't know if I believe that. I think that's garbage. All right, oh, there are two settings. There's medium versus high. I wonder what the difference is. We're gonna try Lumen, because why not? Maybe my computer will melt. Only time will tell. What's up, Fatmouse? I also wonder what location I will choose. We're gonna try out maybe a couple different ones today. Do some investigation. Because there is one location I'd like to try that I've never tried before. Alright, sorry, I didn't get my act together very quickly. Close that. Typo in title, oh my god. Decorations. Love decorations. Just sounds like a little kid. Yeah, complex, of course. I mean, there's so many changes coming that like factories would break in half anyway. I mean, I guess a lot of the basic recipes are probably remaining the same, but yeah, of course I'm restarting. I'm not one of those weirdos. Okay, so there are 4 starting locations. And I have done only 2. I've only ever done grass fields or northern forest. Or no, is that right? No, sorry, I've only ever done these 2. I've never done northern forest or dune desert. And so I kind of want to try those out. Do I need to change anything with these? No, those are all fine. Okay. So let me try the dune desert. Session name is going to be pre-gaming hype. And then we'll go ahead and hop in. I want to see what the dune desert looks like. I mean, I know what it looks like. I want to see what it feels like. Because a big section of one of Josh's Let's Game It Out videos was in the dune desert, so you know what it looks like. And I mean, I've explored the whole map multiple times, so you know, there's nothing crazy fresh there.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project
It feels like
assembly.
running out of biomass and having to run a long way.
Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings.
Hey, Gildarth, does the video look smooth on YouTube? Because YouTube is telling me it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, but I think it's lying.
Unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation.
Dave, I will not do the quick start.
That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5.
YouTube looks good. Awesome.
3,
Thanks, guys.
2,
Yeah, the latency is just what it is. I have it set as low as it'll go on YouTube. YouTube just naturally has more latency than Twitch for whatever stupid reason. So, but yeah, I don't like the quick start. I don't like skipping the early stuff. I like the early stuff. I would skip this animation if there was a setting to only do that, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. I have not played this game in a
Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%.
Ka-chunk.
Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
Yeah, that's the other thing, Gildarth. Maybe the initial animation changed. So I wouldn't want to miss it.
Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated
Massage
sector in the
2,
binary star system of
ABB.
Akija.
Love
I
that.
am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the 3rd of your sector to survive planetfall.
The 3rd?
Congratulations.
Where are the other 2?
Note. Objective-based introduction initialized. Welcome to onboarding.
Why can't I pick these up? Is it because it won't let me yet?
First
we go.
objective. Please dismantle the drop pod. The resulting materials will be repurposed to construct a habitat and utility base, from now on referred to as the hub. Note. Fixit Incorporated is cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste.
Yeah. Let me add it.
This is one of multiple edibles we have detected in your vicinity which are within approved nutritional and medical
What's up, Brandon?
categories as established by R&D.
Yeah, I haven't
A new
played
research
since the
tree can now be
nuclear and
accessed
drone
in the
update.
MAM.
That was the last time I hopped in.
All important
Bea's
Fixit
flashlight.
data and communication is recorded and stored in the codex, including these steps.
What's What's inventory? Well, is it not letting me open the inventory yet? It would kind of be nice if it let me open my inventory.
Please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xeno Zapper equipped before leaving the drop zone.
Yeah, I kind of need it right now.
Note: according to Fixit regulations, every Pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats.
Yep. I should. I agree. There we go. Now it'll let me. Come here, boy.
Third objective.
Got a pretty
Please
mouth.
familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
Alright. So...
The remains of this
Did I
creature
turn on
might shed
lemon?
light on how to increase
I did.
chances of survival. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Also, Ultra might be a bit much for my computer. We'll see. Yeah, Knacknud. I'm just... Okay, I do have it turned on to high. Okay, cool. So, like... I'm curious if even this looks different. So, like, turning on the flashlight on and off, pointing during the daytime. What does that look like if this is off? Okay, that looks exactly the same. So it probably only matters when we're kind of like in shadowy areas. More so. Motion blur is off. Good. I do not like motion blur. Alright, so. Yeah, I mean, I could wait till tomorrow, but I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I want to play the game now. So I'm playing this game now, which is not the game I will be playing tomorrow, but it's close enough.
Caution. Ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Come here. Alright, so there's a lot of baddies here. And was that a pure iron node as well? That's kind of nice. Yeah, I can make a Josh style factory today. You want my mouse thing is way too sensitive here. Mouse smoothing. I don't think I want that. Let's try 2.5. Oh, the thing on top calls itself pure. Oh, that's actually pure. I feel like there are more pure nodes in the desert, right? Isn't that kind of the shtick? Because it's like, hey, we give you some pure nodes, but there's no foliage anywhere. Okay, that's a normal node. I see. Yeah, the biters look weird in this game, right? What's up, Apophenia? How goes it? Oh yeah, let's go see what this cave looks like. How do I build things? Q? Just forgotten everything about how to play this game. I'll have to move the hub, but we'll start out with a reasonably flat area. I've got the streamer sniffles again today for some reason. Don't understand that. I haven't had a sniffle all day, but as soon as I start streaming... Wait, what? Oh. Right, this is all we get.
Congratulations. You have
to do the
unlocked
upgrade.
Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal. Fifth objective. Complete Hub Upgrade 1. Note: the craft bench and hub terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
Oh, we even got some quartz right here, some sulfur back there. Okay, so this is what should look a lot different with the lumen stuff. Wow, there are some... Are you guys stuck down there? You are. Okay. So there's a Mercer Sphere, which we are very excited about. And after hitting Q, you can hit space. Oh, that's nice. That's kind of like the F of Minecraft when you hit F.
Message. Hello, this is Paternal Figure. I have taken ill and need your help to find a cure.
Whip.
Doctors say that
The Mercer Sphere is whipped.
Artifacts.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be collecting those with a high priority tomorrow. Yeah, Vatamouse, I do know a lot of that's changing as well. So I'm not here to take notes on, you know, which nodes are pure and whatnot. Okay, so if that's off, okay, yeah, it's, wow, that is so different. Look at that. There's just like, there's just kind of like light everywhere under here. Whereas if we change it to medium, it's a lot darker. In fact, this doesn't feel that different than not medium.
You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact.
Okay, so if we go to not medium,
harvest.
What's actually different? I feel like I need to take 2 screenshots to tell the difference. Because that looks exactly the same to me.
Picking up multiple
Video.
personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
Medium. Screenshot. I feel like it's the Pam meme. They're the same picture. They're pretty freaking similar, actually, looking at both. There's really not a huge difference.
Relaying message. Hello,
okay, well, there's also some more sulfur over here. There's a decent amount of like starting sulfur, which gets you some researches in the MAM, which is nice. I'm gonna need a lot of leaves here, so we'll be grabbing some foliage. The old biomass burners. Can I just hold E? I can. Okay. I'm just imagining what this pile of leaves looks like on my back. You know, like just a mountain of leaves that I'm carrying. I know there's pocket dimension stuff, but I like to imagine physically what this pile of leaves looks like. Okay, let's actually play the game a little bit. What am I supposed to do? Go make iron rods or something? You know, normal stuff. Maybe I should put my hub over here, where it's a little flatter and the greenery is a little closer, rather than in the middle of the desert. Dismantle you. I'll put it over here, maybe. Feels a little more reasonable. It is weird, so when you right click, it doesn't remove your builder. You have to hit Q. If you right click, it actually brings back up the menu, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so what do I need? I need 10 rods, which means we need to craft some rods from plates. Ah, yes. The riveting gameplay we all know and love. I feel like it's faster than it used to be. I feel like that used to be a lot slower. People probably complained. Ta-da! Now I have a storage box. I can put my little alien remains and the flower petals. Which I'm also glad they're doing away with the flower petals and they're just giving people infinite
you have
paint.
unlocked building workshop, equipment portable miner, inventory additional slots, hub feature personal storage. 6th objective, complete hub upgrade 2.
Yeah. We know the drill. What's up, Chad? We finished what we wanted to do in GT&H. Well, I should rephrase that. I would love to beat GT&H someday, but that's gonna take 5,000 hours. So I was starting to lose interest, so I kind of got to where I wanted to get with logistics pipe auto crafting. And I do think I will go back to GT&H someday. It was a really sweet mod, and I didn't quit because I hated it. I just kind of had gotten burnt out after 200 hours and was kind of done with my first run, but I definitely will return to it at some day. So I did really like GT&H, but I am done with that run. You at least don't need to hold the button anymore? Oh, you still don't, or you don't need to hold it? Because yeah, I literally had get these plants out of here. This is not the place for greenery. I've definitely put something on my mouse before to keep the mouse button held down. All right, that should be more than enough. And do I need copper? I don't think I need copper to make a portable miner, but I could be wrong. I don't remember any of these recipes. Okay, well let's find out. So if I just it seems like, oh, you can just hit space once. Okay, the clicking is click and hold, but space does constant, which is very nice. Yeah, Gildarth, that's right. Yeah, Chad, I wish I was the kind of person that could easily sink 1,000 hours into something, but I really struggle with that sort of longevity. So honestly, I'm surprised I got as far as I did in GT&H. But I'm glad you're having fun with it. It really is a sweet mod pack. Okay, now I should actually look at what I'm trying to craft here. Can I not craft? Right, I need this. I need the equipment workshop. Okay, the fact that right click doesn't close this feels really weird to me. I don't know if I like that. It might be the kind of thing where once I get used to it, I like it, but I don't like it because I'm not used to it right now. What's up, Bochkat? Or Bochka TV, I don't know how you pronounce all that, but I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. We're just doing some pre-gaming for Satisfactory 1.0 tomorrow. I will be streaming the minute it comes out. Oh, you know what I need to be doing is I also need to record this to see if my computer can handle all of it put together. Because I don't want to have technical difficulties tomorrow either, so part of this is testing. Yeah, because normally I would just right-click to get rid of that. So I don't know if I like that right-click doesn't close it. Okay, it is just 2 plates and 4 rods to get rid of that. You are from Russia. That makes sense. Welcome from Russia. Okay, so we'll get a couple. Oh, I need to make plates. The fact that ingots and plates are 2 different materials is also kind of a non-standard factory game thing, which is interesting. Most factory games, plates are the things that you make, or ingots are the thing you use in a lot of early recipes. Usually it's just whatever thing it is that you make in the smelter is the thing that gets used in a lot of spaces, and then gears or screws or rods are often the second step from plates. So it's like I've forgotten all the things. Okay, so we're gonna plop down. Wow, you can't see anything when you're holding one of these. Oh, never mind. Okay, that was just like like when you get a new weapon in Doom, your guy has to analyze it. All right, we'll get one plopped. No, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so you don't hit E. Oh, there we go. I was clicking, but I was looking at the leaves, and so it wasn't working. Where'd my copper or iron go? Here we go. Do that. There we go. Little robot miners. Aw. Look at them go. Doing good work, kids. 80 a minute each. Nice. Alright, so the desert, I know they're changing around some purities and stuff, but I do know the desert is pretty good. And there's also a ton of space, right? Which is kind of nice. Like if you're building on foundations, it's pretty easy to have a nice big flat area. Can I open the map? Or do you have to get to a certain unlock to even be able to open the map? Map is M. Okay. Yeah, nothing's happening. Okay. So I can't do the map yet. Whoa. There were like little sparklies. You guys see that? Yeah, like near the copper node, it's like sparkling. That's interesting. Okay, I keep going the wrong direction. I go from here to there. So it's interesting, the relevant items... Is that... So that's showing me what's in my inventory? It's really weird. I don't remember that. Is that new? Separating out kind of the relevant stuff from the pile of inventory? Huh. I don't remember that being a thing. What do I think about the release of the game, Bochka? I think it's great. Obviously, I'm very excited about it. It's not released yet. All the news that we've gotten has been exciting. I think pretty much everything they're doing is good stuff. That obviously they've got a good track record so far, so pretty excited. Oh, and that's one other thing someone was mentioning on Discord that I need to do, is I need to modify how long the chat stays up on the screen for the chat bot. So let me see if I can do that real quick. YouTube chat, disappear after, let's change it to 25 seconds. And Twitch chat, we'll change you to 27 seconds. So just to make sure that Twitch doesn't think I'm giving other platforms a superior experience, even though I'm multi-streaming. Oh my, ridiculous stuff. Okay. Okay, so I need a bunch of ingots. I need, what do I even need? 20 rods and 10 plates for the next milestone? Got it. All right, there's my 20 rods and 10 plates. Okay. Feed the hub. Ooh, we got walls now. Do we have a toilet yet? Still no toilet.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Hub Feature, Biomass Burner. Scanner Feature, Copper. New Buildings and Recipes, which...
Okay, yeah. So I need 20 wire, 20 rods, and 10 plates. Is wire 2 to 1? Yeah. Or I should say 1 to 2. It's a better way to say it. No toilet flush yet. People keep talking about the toilet being the thing they're spoiling. Toilet teleportation. All sorts of stuff like that. It's like all people meme about whenever they do any of those live streams on the Coffee Stain Studios YouTube. All people meme about is the toilets. It's really funny. To be fair, they did meme about the toilet itself when they did which video was it? Where was it just the release date announcement? Yeah, I think it was the release date announcement itself. They memed. You know, the whole video was the engineer, the fix-it engineer running to the toilet. So that was pretty great. Okay, we need to get some stuff automated. I have no idea. Wow, it gets really dark at night when you have the global illumination turned on. It's really interesting. Bochka, I don't know much about YouTube in other countries, so I can't really comment on it. Okay. So get that done. Now do I have a toilet? Now I've got the toilet. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll just sit here for a minute.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New Buildings and Recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench, respectively.
Wait, how do I do the scanner?
8th objective.
V.
Complete
That's what I
hub-
thought. I've been hitting V and it's... Oh, you have to hold it. Okay. Now I can just click it, but if you haven't done it before, you have to hold it the first time to pick one. Okay. Yeah, there's iron everywhere. Okay, so what would it look like if I turned off the... I wish there was a button to change it back. Oh, I have it on medium right now. High and medium really don't feel any different to me. I'm curious what the difference is. Because when I change it to medium, it really doesn't feel like anything changes. I'm not seeing a difference. It's not really any darker, and the non-lit parts and the lighting doesn't look different. But then if I go to off, it actually, at least in this case, off isn't super different either. I think it's far more for indoor spaces and caves and stuff that it really changes things. To areas that are lit by the outdoor, it actually doesn't seem to change all that much. Yeah. Is this a new map? No, this is the Dune Desert. It's in the northeast corner of the map. It's always been here, but at least early on, it wasn't an area you could pick as a starting location. They didn't add it as a starting location for a bit. So some people might not know about it if they haven't played for a long time. All right, so can I actually make anything yet? I can. Okay, perfect. So we need to make a smelter. Can I make a miner? No, still not that. I guess, actually no. Until I have a biomass burner, there's no point in building any of this, right? Oh, right. There's a biomass burner on the back of this. Right. It's all coming back to me. Okay. So I can make a smelter here to do some smelting. Bochka, when do I think the release will be released? Oh, tomorrow. You didn't know? Yeah, 1.0 comes out tomorrow. It's very exciting. Very exciting stuff. All right, let me make a few cables here. And then I guess that's all we need, right? Connect. Power line. Yeah, it feels so weird to right-click twice. Has it always been that way? Like, if I'm building a power line and I want to get out of the build menu, you can't just right-click. You have to hit escape. That feels off to me. But again, I could just be me not having a good memory or not being used to it. Alright, so now we've got a smelter doing our work for us. Let's go grab the ore. Wow, that planet is really close. That's basically a moon. A moon with rings around it. You don't see that every day. Or are we the moon? Maybe I'm the moon. I don't actually know. Okay, so that's another iron. There's another iron over there. Okay, there's definitely... Oop, I see a power slug. Right there. Alright, I will take some more iron, please. And then, what's my goal right now? How do I pin the milestones again? There we go. 75, 20, and I do need some limestone as well. And we need more copper ingots. Which, can I make 2 smelters run off of this one thing? How many clocks exist in my country? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's a really weird question, and I have no idea why you would ask that. Alright. I need wire. So yeah, my goal today is just to play a little bit, have some fun, kind of go through the early game again. Kind of remember what the early game feels like, partially so that I can notice more of the changes tomorrow when we play 1.0, because it's been so long since I played. Half of what I'll be doing, okay, so I can't connect more lines. Half of what I'll be doing if I didn't play it all today, I would just be saying, like, oh, I'm not sure if that's something that changed or if I'm just remembering it wrong. So part of me wanted to play a little bit just so I can have a slight frame of reference for what normal is. Oh, you think they're asking what time it is in my country? I see. Okay. That I now understand. That makes a lot more sense. It is currently 2 p.m. or 2:22 p.m. And there is a monster nearby. Oh, he seems to not care. Good for you. I should have grabbed one of my portable miners. Let me go do that. As well as some berries. Some pale berries. Alright, so I need... What do I need? Portable miner. Okay, I'll probably make another one. I need some rods. I need some plates. I'm just getting used to the controls. Like, completely forgotten how to play this game. Okay, so we'll get our limestone mining operation going here. There we go. I like how it starts mining before the the drill has actually started drilling. Just visual. Oh, are you grumpy now? Okay, now you're grumpy. Rude. That was weird. I still don't understand. It just opened the build menu when I was hitting tab multiple times. I don't know how I managed that. Yeah, on guard. Alright, that should be enough limestone. And copper ore. Iron ore. Still got 400 leaves. Let's make some concrete. And then that should let me make a power pole. There we go. And then I can build a constructor. Nope. You need reinforced plates for a constructor? Really? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Oh, screws. The bane of my existence. Can't wait till I get all the alternate recipes that mean I don't need screws anymore. No, Bochka, I'm doing single player. Pretty much only do single player. Every once in a while there will be a community server where Cridania people will play together and I'll hop in, but I mostly do single player games. Okay, screws. So how many... Excuse me. I need three rods worth of screws and then 9 ingots worth of plates. So a reinforced iron plate is basically 12 iron ingots. That's a lot. And don't we get a second biomass burner on the back of the hub, I feel like? I think I do. I should yeah. Let me make... I need one more reinforced plate. Which means I need more iron ingots. And then... I will... make another reinforced plate to make the constructor, to make the screws? No. Plates. I'll probably make plates with my first constructor. And then I will use my first belt. Hooray! Yeah, I'm curious if they changed any of this around, or if the beginning of the game is basically the same. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Less than 24 hours away. So exciting. Oops. Hotkeys. How do they even work? What am I trying to press? So I need 8 cable and 2 reinforced plates. I think I was running over here to get the ingots. Yeah. And power, still good. Okay, so what I should do is I should pin that, so then that stays there and I don't have to wonder what I need anymore. That is a thing. Okay. Then we need a bunch of wire. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have complained about that Apophenia, but they really, what's it called? I feel like they really improved it when they added the chainsaw, which wasn't a thing at first. Right? Am I remembering that right? I feel like the chainsaw used to not exist. Or they made the chainsaw better. And then they added the condensed biomass option, which also didn't used to be a thing. And once they added that, I feel like it's pretty easy now. Just every few hours, you go out with your chainsaw, you get a bunch of stuff, and then it's not that bad. And yeah, and you know, those pellets like stack to 200 or something. And so you get like 3 or 4 hours of biomass on one stack. And I always felt like that was plenty. Like, I don't think it's that crazy to have the player, you know, hand feeding stuff once every few hours. It's not like you have to do it every 20 minutes or something. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that. Yeah, they changed it so that now belts can go into biomass burners. So they did. I think enough people complained about that they finally decided to change it. I personally didn't mind it. Exactly, like what Complex Color is saying. If you built more than you needed, they're all running at a lower speed because they automatically what's the word? Not I don't know where my brain is today. Can't think of words. They automatically not filter themselves. It's not the word filter. What's the word I'm looking for? They slow themselves down. Throttle, thank you. That is the exact word I'm looking for. They throttle themselves. So if you build twice as many as you need, every stack of fuel lasts twice as long. And yeah, you'll need twice as many stacks of fuel to fill them all up, but I just felt like it wasn't that huge of a hassle is all I'm trying to say. But I can totally understand why people complained about it. I'm not saying it's crazy if you complained about it. I personally didn't mind it that much because I didn't think it was that bad. But hey, Bochka, you don't need to say the same comment twice if I haven't responded to it yet. That's kind of annoying, to be blunt. But yes, I'm going to stream tomorrow when it releases. That's part of why I'm playing today, is I'm pre-gaming for tomorrow. I'm out of what? Just iron ingots, it looks like? Yeah. What did I do? How did I run out of copper? Oh, I just don't have copper ingots. Yeah, Complex. It might be people who didn't make the biomass ingots. I don't know. I think it's also just, it is a little annoying. I think it's just, if you don't do it in bulk, it's a lot more annoying. If you do it in bulk and you are making the biomass objects, I think it gets a lot easier to feed your biomass burners. I think it's also a question of organization. If you have random biomass burners all over the place, then it's actually really annoying to feed all of them because you don't even remember where they all are and stuff. Whereas if you have a nice little grid of like burner, you know, and you only have to feed those once every 3 or 4 hours, then that's a little bit less annoying and it's not too bad. So, you know, I think it's definitely, some of it's personal preference, some of it is like skill and progress and just getting used to how things work. And yeah, some people just don't like certain kinds of gameplay. And feeding things manually, if you really hate it that much, then even feeding a few biomass burners for a bit is annoying. like I said, I think my personal preferences were fine with the way that it is right now. I don't even think we needed biomass burners to have belt feeding, but I don't really mind that they added it. So what am I doing? I'm making a constructor. I'm kind of just flailing around randomly, to be honest. That's what I'm doing. What I'd like to do is make a constructor. Deconstruct that. Do I get my resources back when I deconstruct that? Like, did I just get the 100? I did get the 100 ingots. Good. Yeah, the collecting of plant matter, that one I kind of have to disagree with a little bit. Once you have the chainsaw, and maybe they didn't even like it before the chainsaw, but once you have the chainsaw, it's like 5 minutes of running around with the chainsaw and you have enough for like hours of feeding the factory. It really does feel like it's not a big deal. If you only gather a couple hundred leaves when you go out, then yeah, that's not gonna last very long. But once you start chopping some of the bigger trees with your chainsaw, that lasts for a long time. I don't know. So there is a little bit of it, again, where it's like, if you're doing things really inefficiently, it could be pretty annoying to go out and do it that way. If you try just to put in a little bit of effort to make your biomass trips a little bit more efficient, I think it's not that bad. But again, you know, some people don't like it. That's fine. I'm not judging them. I don't think it's objectively that much of the game that you're spending doing that. So it's like such a small portion of the game in the first place. I don't really think it has that big of a... I guess where I will hard disagree with someone is if they're like, I didn't like Satisfactory because I thought it was ridiculous that you had to hand feed a biomass burner. Like, if that's what someone's complaint with the game is as a whole and why they're not playing it, I think that's a little ridiculous. They certainly didn't give it enough of a shot or try to be efficient at all, if that's like the reason they're not playing. If it's just a complaint they have about the game, that's fair. You know, everybody can have their preferences. But if you're saying the game is bad because of it or something like that, I would have to say that's a bit too extreme. And they're making a mountain out of what gameplay time-wise is a molehill. You know, it's like, even if you hate doing it, it's such a small percentage of your gameplay time. And if it's a large percentage of your gameplay time, you are actually just doing it wrong. Or inefficiently. Because it really is not a large percentage of gameplay. Okay. So I need more iron. Let's make... Do I have enough to make another one? I do. Another portable miner. So my goal right now is to finish... I'm just going to go through phase 1 here, which is where you finish upgrading this. And then we're going to take a little exploration around the Dune Desert for fun. And then... I don't know, we might start at the Northern Forest. And I won't play very long in the Northern Forest, but I just want to see what the area feels like. A lot of, for me, a lot of the early game joy is kind of the location. This location is kind of boring. Like, it's cool in that it's a desert, but like, it's a desert. There's not that much to look at, right? You know, there's the skybox in the distance. There's a few big rocks. And I do think this forest is kind of beautiful though. But I don't think I'll start in the desert. I just wanted to try it out today, just to kind of see if I liked it a lot. And so far, I'm thinking, yeah, it's the desert. It's kind of what I expected. So I probably won't start in the desert. Ah, he has ADHD. That explains everything. a lot of my friends have ADHD, and I do understand. And I mean, I have taught a lot of students with ADHD, which it plays out differently in the classroom rather than just like life in general, but I do have, why can't I? Oh, my inventory's full. I do understand ADHD a bit because of that. I guess I can eat, no, I can't eat the berries. I'm gonna throw away the flower petals, those are kind of pointless. And how did that get unequipped? Oh, because I equipped the miner. That's why. Duh. That's why. And I guess I might as well put the other miner here on the copper for now. Bochka, yeah, I hope you enjoy school tomorrow. A lot of people are schooling or working tomorrow, so they will not be able to play right when it comes out. I guess it depends on the time zone. Central European people will be able to play pretty soon after work because they're not releasing it till 5 p.m. Central European time. So that's actually kind of when everybody gets off work. Okay, so I can't build belts yet. So that's why we're doing the next hub upgrade here. Let's get that done. 5 more cables and... Wait, I already have the plates I need. I just need to put them in. Okay, there we go. Hub upgraded. What does that upgrade add? Is it the roof part here that they just added?
Congratulations. You have unlocked building, conveyor belts and poles. Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective. Complete hub upgrade 5. Note, portable miners cannot be connected to conveyor belts.
Correct.
Advice. When planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Oh, my neck. Yeah, so 10 a.m. Central US time is correct. Central European time is what I was saying, which 5 p.m. European would be 7 ahead of US Central, so that all adds up. I'm so excited for those who weren't watching this the videos on YouTube that they're releasing. Now to build conveyor belts, all you have to do is look at the building. Like right here, I could click right there and it would basically be snapping to the entrance. I assume they just split the building into like a front half and a back half. And if you're looking anywhere at the front half of the building, it snaps the belt to the exit. Or, well, I guess I don't know how it works exactly because there's buildings with multiple outputs and inputs and stuff. But I assume they break it into, you know, quadrants or whatever, where like if you're looking at that corner of the building. So all that to say, you don't have to, although this is pretty generous, but maybe on bigger buildings like ore refineries, it just has to be within a certain distance right now of the conveyor output. And the change is that literally anywhere on the building, the belt is always going to be snapping to either the input or the output, one of the inputs or outputs, which will be nice. But yeah, that should get us going here. If we smelt some iron ore, we should be able to make some iron plates. And it says no power because, well, there's no power. That's reasonable. There we go. We're doing it. Doing it. Also need power for that. Sweet. Okay, so that's some iron. 10 a.m. Central, yes. That is when 1.0 drops. Central US time, at least. We'll see if they allow preloading. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I feel like it... I don't know if it's different on Epic versus on Steam as well, because I have it on Epic. So, I don't know if that'll change things. But I have pretty fast internet, so it shouldn't be too long of a download. Hello? Oh, right, inventory. I need to drop off all my random crap in the chest over here. Alright, let's get rid of the animal remains, the pale berries. I'll keep the nuts just in case. And the wood. Right now we're leaf powered. We'll switch to wood at some point. Yeah, I'm not speedrunning it. I saw a thumbnail of somebody today that was like, I'm gonna be the first to beat Satisfactory, which I wish them all the best. I'm not fighting for that spot, so. But I'd like to be playing as soon as possible. Yeah, sleep well, Bochka, good night. Enjoy the bed. Sometimes going to bed is the best part of the day. Yeah, the early access is less than 30 gigs, so the 1.0 shouldn't be crazy. Now, the question I have is it an update, or is it just a whole new download? There's part of me that's wondering if it just downloads a whole new game, rather than updates the EA version. Because I'm on experimental, and that's a different build, so it's possible that the regular update 8 would update to the 1.0, but I'm guessing the experimental build will not update to 1.0, so I'll probably have to download the full 30 gigs. We'll see. Casey Diggs, I am in the US, so I'm Eastern US, so I'll be starting midday, you know, when it comes out. It'll be 11 a.m. for me. And I do not take tomorrow off because I have moved to full-time content creation. So I am taking time off to play in the sense that me playing is actually my job. So it's exciting, I know. I'm very, very grateful that I get to do that for work. Every once in a while it's work, but so far content creation as a job has been great. It needs to make more money, but that comes with time, so I've really been enjoying it so far. I need more plates. But yeah, Gildarth, I will be able to download 30 gigs in like 10 minutes or something. I don't know. My internet's pretty speedy, so. Assuming there's not weird server hiccups and whatnot, I should be in-game by 11:30 at the latest, I would guess. Barring any weirdnesses. Okay, I haven't even looked. What's my next upgrade? Is this the last one? 75 rods, 50 wires, and... okay. How much power do we get off this? I get 8 megawatts. No, 12. 20. Wait, what? What's going on here? Capacity is 20. Max consumption would be if all the buildings were running, which they're not. Got it. Okay. So I can still fit 2 more smelters and whatnot, and those are 30 a minute. That's eating 30 a minute, so I do need the pipette, and we will just throw another smelter next to that one. I'm still right clicking instead of hitting Q. I'll get used to it eventually. And we'll dismantle that power line, connect to this one, then connect that. Yeah, now we're remembering how to play. Now we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. Use middle mouse button on a wire to get a pull. No, it actually gets you another power line. I think what you can do... I mean, you can middle mouse on the power pole to get a pull, but there's another way. I forget what it is. Quick switch. Yeah, the E button switches between the two when you're building. It says it right there in the middle of the screen. Quick switch is E. You can split a wire? What? I don't know what you mean. If you are building a pole, oh, that's new. Oh, that's cool. Okay, neat. Hey, Bochka, I already answered that, man. I'm playing single player. Nobody will be playing with me. I'll be playing on my own. I'll be doing a whole new world. If you're looking for people to play with, I'm sure there are lots of groups on Reddit and on the Discord that are talking about starting worlds together. I'm sure you can find some people, a group of people to play with if that's what you're looking for. Alright, so I need to make a bunch of rods. I guess I could make another constructor. I guess the goal of this game is to automate stuff. Fine, fine, fine. Alright. I do need more power though, but let's try our newfound skills. So I take the power pole. Oh. I'm missing iron rods. Okay, just kidding. So we craft some iron rods, and then do I have cable as well? I actually haven't looked. Oh, and I need concrete. I do have concrete. Wait, why didn't it let me do that? That was weird. What? I clicked, but nothing happened. That's odd. What the? Oh, wait, what? Oh, you click twice? Oh, it's a 2-click process. Wait a second. That's okay. Hold on. So you click, and then you can click again, and that. I wish I could look up while aiming down, if that makes any sense. I can't see what it's doing. Okay, so that it lets you place a new location for the pole that's splitting. It doesn't just place it right there. I see. That's really handy. Press H to lock it, and then you can look around. Oh, thank you. Man, you can do everything. They really have thought of everything. So now I can do this, and then I can be like, what's it look like if it's there? Perfect. Okay. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, no power. That's because I ran out of leaves? Yeah. Time to go leaf hunting. Oh man, I don't know what my hotkeys are still. We'll get used to them eventually. Oh yeah, they have the nudging while you're building something. It's not quite picker dollies because it's not being able to move stuff that's already been built and is running, but I do remember them talking about that in the update videos. Like, I've watched all of the updates, you know, when they're like, update 5, what's coming? Like, I've watched all of those over the years. I just haven't actually played it. I guess it's over the months. It was only, maybe it's years. How long has it been since I played? When did the nuclear update come out? It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but has it really been years? Has it really been that long? That's crazy if it has. But now that I think about it, I think it was like 3 years ago when I played the last run of Satisfactory. I'd have to look at YouTube to see when the dates were. I'm actually curious. I'm gonna look right now. When did I make Satisfactory? All right, it was March 30th. Satisfactory Update 4 playthrough was March 30th, 2021. Oh my gosh. It was over 3 years ago. Wow. That's crazy. My final video was May 8th of 2021. Oh, wow. Yeah, Pyanodons has warped my time perception. Exactly. It really has. Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Okay, what was I doing with this one? Is it powered up? No, we didn't power it up. There we go. Okay, so I've got one just making ingots. I've got one that I can make rods from ingots. I've got one making plates from ore. And then this one's just making copper ingots for me. Save me some time. Which summer sloop am I looking forward to? Good question. So, from my understanding, summer sloops can be used to augment the entire power grid and give you a free 500 megawatts. So it's like 10% plus 500. That's nice because if you think about it, that's like, it just saves you a huge amount of building to use one summer sloop in that way. Well, now that's less coal plants you have to build, or less, you know, fuel generators you have to build, or whatever. So that one is probably going to save you the most time, but being able to do the production overclock, I don't even think the word overclock is the right word anymore, because now it's like you get more, it's productivity modules, right? Like from Factorio. So being able to get more output for input is probably the one I'm more excited about. I always love that in games. And being able to get free stuff, that just feels awesome. So, I do like that. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? Do I need some concrete? I probably need some more concrete. Let's go grab our limestone mine. They're speed mods, not prod mods. No, that's incorrect. Unless I completely misunderstood Snut in the video. He literally was saying it boosts the output but not the input, which is a productivity module. You get output twice as fast for the same input. That is the definition of productivity module. And the power is the same thing. It's free power, like, with no more inputs to the power network. So summer sloops are basically free stuff. Whether it's free output in your buildings or free power in your power network, it's basically you're getting something for nothing. I guess with the power augmentation, you do have to build the power building that houses whatever it's called, the power augmenter thingy. But you're getting 500 megawatts for your trouble of building that, and then the 10% is just, you know, it's free real estate, so to speak. Why am I spamming E rather than holding it? I don't know. It's not nothing you need to spend power for them to work. Well, yes, but that power's free, roughly. Power in most of these games, and Satisfactory is no exception, is relatively free. Like, yes, there's a little bit of effort to set up your power network, but comparatively, if you're getting like supercomputers or whatever expensive late game thing, and you're getting twice as many of them for just a little bit of power costs, that's pretty good. Bochka, no offense, but keep it English, please. Because I can't read non-English, and so I don't know if you're saying lots of bad, horrible things, or you're saying lots of really nice things. I just don't know. So, this is an English channel. Underclocking can save a lot of power, yes, but often it's not. I've not found it worth it, but I'm not mega basing, right? Once you get to mega basing, you can go a lot bigger, and care about things like that. I'd say in normal size basing, underclocking's not usually worth it unless you're really strapped for power. But Bochka, I don't know. Like I was recommending, go to the Satisfactory Discord or the Satisfactory Reddit, and I'm sure they have places where people can look for play groups. I personally, because I don't play multiplayer, I don't really know where to find people to play multiplayer with. But I'm sure if you look for communities, you can find some, because there's lots of people like you that want to play multiplayer. All right. Okay, so I've got. Do I have everything? Do I have the rods? Let's find out. I have 48 plus 53, or plus 5 is 53, so not quite. I'll just make the rest right here. Pixel, or okay, sorry. Casey Diggs, you're saying how far along am I in the MAM? I haven't even made the MAM yet, so I'd say 0. The answer to that is 0. How far along? No. The answer is no. I think biomass isn't the MAM though. I do think it's just the hub recipes. Yeah, we'll find out. I'm just finishing milestone 1 right now, or I'm finishing tier 0. Sorry. Yeah, we get biomass just as the towards the end of tier 0 here. And then, so I need 50. Okay. So let me just get these placed in so I know what I still need.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container.
Good night, Bochka.
Hub feature, additional
Enjoy.
biomass burner.
Have a good day tomorrow.
10th objective.
With your school.
Complete hub upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
Okay, I need more iron. I like how Ada was just like, note, there are no notes. Also, Pixel, you're saying something about sulfuric acid and instant scrap recipe? Instant scrap. Generate more water than you're using. I don't remember those recipes. Instant scrap. That sounds like very faintly familiar. It's been so long since I played, like I said. And I guess it's possible there's even some new recipes that I haven't seen. I need to change my sprint button to be caps lock. The reason being you do shift click to move piles of stuff. And so shift being sprint is also kind of annoying. Honestly, sprinting in games like this is something I don't understand. Why would you ever not be sprinting? The only reason that I can think of, and I'm sure there's other edge reasons, but the only main reason, where is it? Player goes. The only reason would be like if you're doing a video and you just want to show like a slow walk through the factory because it's cool. But like 99% of people are sprinting 99.99% of the time. So I don't understand why it's not just one of those things where it's like always on by default. And then if you go looking, there's a way to walk. But it just feels weird with like, there's not even stamina, but somehow sprinting isn't default. That just feels weird to me. Why is that not default? Okay, my computer's been doing okay. That's good. I've been recording and multi-streaming, and I've been able to maintain frame rate, so that bodes well for tomorrow. Code Cone, I did. My point is that why do I even have to toggle sprint on? Especially like when you reload the game, sprint starts off. So it's just like I just want a game setting that's like I'm always sprinting, leave sprint on forever, stop thinking I ever want to walk somewhere. Because if you think I want to walk, I probably don't. Stop thinking I want to walk. Like this is not a walking game, this is a sprinting game. Again, I realize there might be some very particular edge cases where walking is something you actually want to do. I've never run into those cases, and I'm guessing most people don't. So I do kind of feel that it's odd. It's like one of those holdovers. It feels like a holdover from another era of gaming, right? And like where walk sprint is a thing, but it's just like in a game with stamina and movement mechanics where the enemies are chasing you, and if you sprint too much, there's a cost to that. Like there are games where sprinting is kind of a central part to the gameplay. But in this game, it's like, well, yeah, there's no stamina, and I always want to get places faster, so why wouldn't I be sprinting? It's not even like crazy fast sprinting. I mean, it's fast, but why would you walk like this? when you can sprint like this? I don't get it. I don't get why you would ever walk. So it's just one of those quality of life questions of like, if there's no reason to ever walk, why is that the default that players have on at the beginning of the game? But that's the kind of thing I like to complain about. And sometimes other people are like, oh, I don't know, I just always turn on sprint when I start and I just don't really think about it. But it's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night, dang it. Okay, I need these ingots, and I'm going to put them in here to make rods. And then I'm also going to... I think that's enough plates, so I'm going to switch you. How do you switch it? Literally don't know how to play this game anymore. How do I switch what this is making? I can't click on this. Oh, this. There it is. Found it. Found it. Found it. Okay. Why did you stop, though? Oh, we just happened to run out of power at the exact same time. Reasonable. Let's use the flower petals first. Nope. Go grab some more power. The fast run is something you buy from Mam. Oh, you can wait. There's an upgrade just for your regular run speed. That's interesting. That didn't used to be a thing. But yeah, I know that there are the Blade Runners and all sorts of movement upgrades and stuff. Those are all great. My main point is just, why is sprinting not the default in these games? It feels like it should be. Okay, that should be enough for now. Grab a few more of the... Oh, do those not come with wood? I thought these big leafy ones would have some wood to them. But I don't think they actually do. No, I don't think they do. Okay, never mind. I was thinking I could power one with wood and one with leaves, but I don't think I have enough wood for that. So we'll just... whatever. And yes, you are correct. I did not connect my second biomass. That should do it. Okay. So there's some rods. I will handcraft the rest of the concrete needed. And then we shall, I guess, be done, right? I need a few more rods and then we'll be good. Sprinting is so good, they made sprinting 2.0. We will find out if they did anything with the sprinting settings. Yeah, the new jetpack fuels look awesome. I love that they have different effects on the jetpack. I think that's a really neat touch. Very excited to use those. I'm just excited to see the Mark 6 belt, like, launching players. That's one of my favorite ways. I know lots of people use hypertube launchers and stuff. One of my favorite ways to go long distances is to just make a belt, and you know, you duck. What do you call this? Slide jump. You slide jump off the belt, and then you just jetpack to stay in the air for a really long time. Just little puffs. That's my favorite way to go long distances. And I feel like the Mark 6 belt is gonna make it like absurd how far you can go with that strategy. Because the Mark 5 is already crazy how far you can go with that strategy. So, there we go. Are we gonna get the little drop pod thing now?
Congratulations.
Maybe.
You have unlocked.
Yep.
Building, space elevator. Building,
Except
biomass
I can't see it.
burner. Heart, biomass.
There's a fun glitch.
Motivational message. Congratulations.
We-
You succeeded in every provided task. On
the
behalf
heck?
of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your
Oh, there it
current
is.
and future service.
That was weird.
Additional knowledge. The
That was
hub
weird.
terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved
Yeah,
protocols.
stealth tech. There you go. It meant to do that.
Note: future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and
meant to
as
do
such
that.
initiating project assembly. Good luck.
a faster hypertube entrance. Yeah, and that's the thing about hypertubes that has actually bothered me before in this game, is they feel really slow if you're going like uphill. Like if I had a hypertube from here and it just went uphill and I wanted to get to the top of that little mountain, it really does not get you there very fast. Like a Mark V conveyor belt, if I just stood on top of it, would probably get me there faster. So I do wish hypertubes had some form of like, you could set like at the entrance you could set it to like a low, medium, or high boost when you get in, and it could cost more power to start off with a faster boost, and then when you're in the hypertube it maintains like a faster rate of travel. Yeah, and I don't like the stacking thing. I never have. That feels very cheesy and gamey, and that doesn't actually that doesn't feel like the intended experience. I realize that it works, but I'm not a big fan of that. I might end up doing some of it in my base, just because it is what works for certain things, to make the launchers and whatnot. But I don't actually like that as a mechanic. Okay, now what? Objective, build the space elevator. Ah, yes. The beginning of the game. Okay, so you get a map in tier 1 here. And then what's the cost difference mostly? Tier 1 is concrete, iron, and copper stuff. Basically all stuff we've already looked at. Tier 2, basically the same but more expensive. They do have motors in there, and then reinforced plates, but nothing too crazy. Dan, I do have that setting on. Don't worry. I'm not holding to sprint like some crazy person. All right, I do want to make a constructor for biomass. Let's do that real quick. At this point, I'm just gonna line them up for simplicity. Did that one not end up lined up? It's kind of glitching out there. That was weird. Yeah, see that? What is that? That is some weird stuff. I don't know what that was. I need power poles. This new power pole building system is amazing. The fact that I can just do that then makes it so easy, because now I can attach new stuff to a power line. That's so much nicer. It probably means it's also so much easier to make total power line spaghetti, because you don't have to plan it out properly. But more ways to make spaghetti is a good thing, I think. Okay, now, what is the biomass difference? Oh yeah, we'll get a chainsaw, don't you guys worry. Okay, so it's 80 per minute to make 20 megawatts. That means each leaf is, so it's 4/3 of a leaf per second. So that means each leaf is 3/4 of a megajoule, which means 750 kilojoules. But then biomass, which is here, biomass is made from 2 leaves. So that means if it didn't change the efficiency, it would be 1500 kilojoules. But instead, I only need 6.67 per minute. Oh, that's nice and horrible ratio for me. That is... So I'm using... What is that? 6/9? No. 60/9. 60/9. Per minute. Why they just had to use Wait, you can use a calculator in the item search? Are you serious? What? How? Where? Teach me. This game has so many I feel like I faintly remember there being a calculator now that you guys are mentioning it. I forget how to get to it though. Oh, you just literally type it in there. Oh. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, okay. So if that's per minute, we need to know the per second. Okay, so my brain was right. It is 1/9, basically. I knew ninths were in there somewhere. So we're using 1/9 per second. So if we're generating 20 megawatts every, so it's 180 megajoules. Is that right? Kind of feels crazy. 180 megajoules times 6.67 gives you the 1200 megajoules that it uses every minute, which makes sense because 20 times 60. Yeah, all the numbers check out. So that means these are 180. Yeah, raw leaves and wood are just very bad. Exactly. that is the bottom line. It is the bottom line. So doing this is going to help quite a bit. And we'll get a real semblance of a factory going here. Okay, so these lights now, they almost feel too bright. And I'm guessing those are related to this lumen setting. I wonder if I go to like medium. Does that make these feel less bright? They're still pretty dang bright relative to things. So far, medium and high, I have yet to be able to tell the difference. Okay. And that still feels pretty similar too, but it's feels a little different in this area, whether lumen's on or off. Here, let me do another screenshot that. Change it. Given that it hasn't murderized my FPS yet, I might need to change it late game, but I feel like I'll probably play with lumen on just to start with. And eventually if it starts bothering me, I'll turn it off. But it feels like it's better to start with it on than start with it off. Oh yeah, those are really different. I'll have to share that in the Discord. The lumen being on, there's way more, like the light that you see right here above the panel is not there when it's off. Yeah, and there's way more shadows. Well, I don't know. It's weird. Lumen being on is making more of this light kind of spread around the light source. It's hard to describe, but the screenshots definitely look different. Not in any crazy ways, but they do look different. Okay, so we've explored a little bit of the desert. What I'd like to do... It'd be nice to unlock... When do we get the MAM? I'd like to see if, like, sulfur, caterium... I guess they're changing where they are located anyway, so there's not much of a point. But yeah, the chainsaw is pretty dang great, and the solid biofuel is really great too. So we'll want to rush that. Before... What are we doing? How far are we into the stream? How much time do I have left today? I still have about 2 hours-ish that I can play. What do we want to do in that 2 hours? One thing I want to do is try out the Northern Forest as well. I want to see that. And I think what I might do... How do I cheat? Can we cheat? I'd like to do flight mode. Can I do that easily? I don't know if I can in the midst of a game. Can I cheat in the midst of a game? Automatic clearance separation. Enable to have buildings automatically be moved if they're built within the clearance of a different building. That's interesting. Huh. There's so many settings I feel like they've added. I love games with lots of settings. It's when saving loading. Okay, let's try that. Save that. Exit to main menu. And then... Okay, continue doesn't give you any options. I might need to hit the load button. Load. Enable advanced game settings. Aha. So then... It didn't let me do anything, though. Oh, I can change the settings once I've loaded in that way, I think, is how that works. Oof, I'm getting warm. And turn on my fan. Okay, so now I can change advanced game settings. Aha. Aha. Unlock alternate recipes instantly. That sounds nice. There's a small part of me that wants to start 1.0 with that unlock, but no, I want to do the exploration. I'll find my hard drives. I'll find my hard drives the hard way. I'm sure they've added more and moved them and changed the requirements and all that, so it'll still be interesting. Okay, how do I fly? Double tap space. Okay, holding space doesn't work. Double tapping space doesn't work. How do I fly? Oh. You just have to double tap space faster. I wasn't tapping it fast enough. Okay, so yeah, what I'm curious, I wish I could make it unlock. I wanna know kind of where stuff is. Like I said, I guess that doesn't matter that much though, because some of them are changing anyway. No, I was double tapping jump. It's just jumping while you're in midair doesn't activate it. You have to double tap it quickly. The double tap requirement was shorter than I expected. Yeah, I don't think I want to do the desert. I like the desert, but I don't know if I love the desert. Also, how do I go down? Crouch. There we go. What are those things? Oh, those are those. I feel like those look different than they used to. Maybe not. Yeah, the oasis here is pretty cool. What kind of ore is this? Is this sulfur? No, caterium. Caterium. Okay, so that is the desert. Pretty big, flat area to work with. Oh, there's the fog. When you launch an upgrade from the hub, it takes time to come back. Yes. You recently learned that you can load up more than one and launch multiple. Wait, so you can launch one when there's no thing to launch? What does it do? Does it just launch one that doesn't exist, basically? Unauthorized hostility towards Pioneer detected. That's funny. This is an interesting area. I don't feel like I've ever been up here except maybe once when I was like exploring for hard drives on a different run. This is a pretty sweet area. So over there is where I have played before, base, which is the desert. Ooh, uranium. Yeah, wow. So this feels way darker. Like if I turn off lumen, what changes? What did I just get hurt by? No, I guess there's still these red lights in the trees. I don't think I've ever seen these before. So interesting. Oh, found a summer sloop. So KC Diggs, when you do that, does it launch immediately, or does it have to wait till the first one gets back to start the second one launching? Like, does it send off a flying thing, or does it just not send one off for the second one that you launch? Okay, so Northern Forest, ASDF, start game. I want to see what the Northern Forest looks like. Oh, crap. I need to skip this. Oh, skip intro. There we go.
Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the
where
binary
is
star
this on the
system of
map?
Akicha. I am Ada,
actually
also known as
know
Artificial Directory and
where we
Assistant,
are right
tasked to
now.
support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of your sector to survive planetfall.
Oh, okay. I need to start with the advanced settings enabled. Let's try again. Northern Forest, advanced game settings. Just turn on all the things. You would guess that the Northern Forest is in the north? I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? But where? Because we were just in the north. I know the desert's in the northeast, but... Okay, so there's the desert. So we were just over there. Okay, interesting. Let's see. I wish you could reduce the fog. I know it's there for performance reasons, but there are times where you want to turn it down, even if performance is bad. I kind of just want to see more right now. So yeah, so over there is the desert start. Here's the Northern Forest start. I've definitely never done the Northern Forest. I have done the Rocky Desert, which is over this away somewhere. I like how it shows the falling animation when you're transcending downwards in God mode. So this is not a starting area, right? This area over here, the little floating spore things. There's a command to turn fog off. Ooh. Do share, do share. Or is it in the options? Or advanced game settings? No, I don't think so. How doth I turn fog off? Do I say fog off? Didn't work. Surprising. Very surprised that didn't work. I seem to remember there being quartz over here somewhere. The fog is kind of weird how it like changes colors from one zone to another and such. It feels like a nice effect when you're like not noticing it, but sometimes when you're up high like this, oh no, it thinks what you said was a URL. That's funny. It's probably like set fog or something. I can just Google it real quick. Satisfactory fog off command. Open up the console. r.fog 0. Ooh, there we go. Nice. Yeah. Clearly, YouTube doesn't like it. So this is the area I've started in before. What? Those gray squares are really weird. I wonder what that's all about. It's so interesting. And why is there one way over there, spaced out from these other areas? Can I do like player dot speed? I don't know. I wanna go faster. Fly speed multiplier. There we go. Wait, speed. Oh, no, let me. FG. How do you? If I type speed, how do I like select that to be what I'm now typing without entering it? FG dot fly. I don't know how to, because if you hit enter, it just goes to control enter, shift enter. I don't know. Tab might be it. It's a good idea. There it is. Thank you. All right, 5. That didn't seem to work. Only affects the flight speed in the builds with cheats. I am cheating, aren't I? Doesn't seem to actually work with the way I'm entering it. But yeah, this is the Rocky Desert or whatever they call it. That's northern foot. So really 3 of the starts are in the north. That feels kind of interesting. Equals? Maybe. Maybe equals is it. Am I going 5 times faster? I don't think so. No. How to fly faster in Satisfactory. Maybe? Fly fast command? Wait, is that actually a thing? People are talking about mods. I'm not using a mod. That's not a command. Who knows? Alright, yeah, I am curious about that. If it's an unloaded chunk, why is that chunk loaded and that one isn't? And that one, it feels weirdly... Like, does the map stick out more in this area, I wonder? I'm curious about that. The map is always so interesting and satisfactory when you're, like, way up high like this. Get closer. Let's see what happens if we get closer. The skybox also looks really funny from this angle. Because, like, those mountains, compared to those mountains, they look so much smaller from this angle. Oh, well, it did disappear. So, yeah, it might be some sort of unloaded... Yep, that one just disappeared. Some sort of unloaded chunking going on. But yeah, I think I am most likely going to start. I'm guessing that's the kill wall right there, if I had to guess. So this would be a decent area to build a big flat, you know, foundation like spot over the ocean. Because there's actually a lot of ocean space to build here. Whereas in some areas you don't have very much ocean space. Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is the wall. Also, Michael Stokes, yeah, I figured he was saying something basic in Russian, but yeah, the graphics in this game are insane. I love the way this game looks. Well, that wasn't the kill wall either. Maybe because I'm in God mode, there is no kill wall. And I totally missed it. Surely you can't build this far away, normally. Oh, it's damage walls. And there's one on the east side that's instant kill. So since I have God mode on and I can't take damage, I can just go forever. Goodbye, cruel world. This is where I live now. Whee! Let us say hi to the water. Yeah, I do not think we would normally be able to come out this far. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so interesting. The ground over here renders all the way to this corner. I was wondering what that was. Such weird, like... Why do they do it this way under the hood? Very curious. Huh. Okay, well, all that to say, I'm gonna go back to my game. Yeah, turn God mode off and find out. Load. Pre-gaming hype. All right, yeah, let's get a little factory going on here. Let's see what we can do in just an hour's time or so. So I do want to get some conveyor. I want to get what are they called? I want to get foundations eventually, but I probably will need to start with some basic smelter into constructor stuff going on before that. Let me make more concrete, which of course I don't have the limestone. So instead, I'm gonna make some more miners. I think I only have 2 on the... See, I have to turn on sprint again because I loaded the game, which I find to be a very strange thing. Surely someone else has complained about that. Maybe it'll change in the full release. We'll find out. Maybe it'll change. Alright, give me 2 more of these. Because yeah, you actually need a lot of limestone. Like 3 ore to just 1 concrete is a pretty rough ratio. It's even worse than, you know, stone bricks in Factorio, as it were. So you do need quite a bit of that limestone to start. Concrete, and then I'll probably smelt 1 for plates, 1 for rods, 1 for screws. I need 3 smelters to start. The problem in the really early game is that you don't have the building materials yet. So that's why I want to get all those going. And then I'll need to do one for wires into cables. So that'll be smelter, constructor, constructor. And then what's over here? Are these just regular rocks? They are just regular old rocks. And there's a power slug over there, just living his best life. Living his best little slug life. Okay, so let's do... I'm just gonna give myself some space, so I'm gonna delete all this stuff over there. In fact, why don't we do that now? My inventory is not gonna be able to handle it, unfortunately. No? Maybe? Maybe it did. I must have had enough open slots. Desert alongside the cliff wall looks pretty good at night. It does. I could imagine building a pretty cool factory that like integrates itself into those cliffs. I can imagine that. Could I actually do it? Probably not, let's be honest. But the thought of it sounds cool. Okay, so we'll do a constructor. So that'll be number 1. Be number 2, and I need 3 of these for iron. And then we'll do 1 for copper. Okay. There we go. There we go, there we go. These along. Did he just have a cosmetic thought? He did. Don't worry. The only reason he had a cosmetic thought is because he knew he wouldn't have to act on it. It was harmless. It was just a harmless cosmetic thought, I promise. I also always find it so funny that even though these have 4 connections, because you have to chain them together, they really end up only having 2. Is how it feels. Yeah. Okay, close enough. All right, so that's all good, and now we can feed ore in. Your iron. I do need to go get more iron. And then you're gonna be screws, you're gonna be rods, you're gonna be plates. And then the other one will be a wire. With copper. Sweet. Let me go get our stuff. There are some real neat ways to hide wires. And don't we even have powered floors now? Am I making that up? That's a thing, right? Or am I making that up? I thought there were powered floors. Or there's just always been people asking for powered floors. Oh, sad. Okay, never mind. I was excited about a feature that doesn't exist. Right, there's 400 more iron. It's amazing how fast it goes. And we will need some more biomass burners. Slide on our butts. You know, I just love that you leave a little trail when you slide down the dirt. That's so cool. so those are all going. That's gonna run out of flower petals pretty quick, but for now it's fine. And then I will make a constructor here for biomass. Probably should have like a central kind of spine of power where I can make sure to always have some spares. And then you will make... Well, I guess I don't really have enough wood for that to matter. So instead, you shall do the leaf production. And did I put leaves in here? No? No, I did not. You have a little bit more wood. Flower petals. Can you sort? Oh, there we go. Just the big old sort button, you know, not hiding in plain sight or anything like that. Okay. So biomass stacks to 200, so that gives you, how many minutes is that? 30 minutes, roughly. Exactly 30 minutes if you were at full power. I shall go gather a few more leaves. What did we say a single biomass is in terms of megajoules? 180? Something like that. Definitely is a lot. So 200 biomass, I need 400 leaves. That should do it. Cool. Yeah, that should be enough biomass for a bit, and then should be able to collect the fruits of our labors. Have some wire. Oh! Yep. You guys knew that was coming if you were paying attention to what I did. I forgot, screws are not made from ingots, they're made from rods. So this needs to be... Yeah. You made the wrong thing, it's all your fault. Definitely isn't me not knowing what I'm doing. You need to make rods and then screws. There we go. Okay. That's more like it. And then, should I just make a second one for cables? Probably, because I need wire and cable separately. So that does make sense. I do need more reinforced plates, though. Yes, exactly, Code Cone. Not until I get the special recipe. There are a few special recipes for the old screw making, thankfully. Alright, I'll make some manually for now. Wascally, isn't that the perfect start of using the machines, triggering the robot apocalypse? You know, all the good stuff, Skynet, yada yada. Alright, a few more reinforced plates. I also think the way this game, excuse me, the way this game does things is so interesting because most games have gone down the inserter route, right? So the idea of two ingredients going into one machine is not very complicated at all for most games, because you either use a long inserter, you have belts with two lanes, or you just have neither and you have two belts coming to two different parts of the building. But in this game, it's like, oh, you want to put two things into the same building? Ah, you need a whole new building for that. You know, and so the idea of the manufacturer, if that's what it's called, I can't remember what it's called. rather than just like the basic assembler is interesting to me, because that's actually not how most games work these days. And so I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think it is interesting that like most games have gone more towards the Factorio direction when it comes to that stuff, rather than the Satisfactory direction. Oh look, those are almost exactly the same amount of biomass. Perfect. So that should last for a bit. And I'll put away the leaves. And do I have wood? No. Also, I would prefer to be holding some nuts. Because it's way more fun that way. And I can take a snack when I need it. Let me go get more iron. If the machines become sentient, I'll just get canceled. Yeah, that is true. I will get canceled quickly. You can put the thing in your hand away? Oh my gosh, you can. I forgot about that. I think they had added that last time I played. But it's still equipped. Yeah. It used to be that you had to unequip it, which was really annoying. I need to get that coffee mug, let's be honest. Okay, so Iron Miner is probably a good thing to do. What's interesting is that you actually, because you can pile like 15 of, you know, those portable miners. I mean, you could do more than 15. I don't think you would normally need more than 15, but you can pile a ton of them on one little node. And then you get the real miner, and it gets you like 30 a minute, or 45 a minute, or 60 a minute, and you're like, wait, what? I was getting like 500 a minute off of my portable miners, and now you're telling me that I automated this and I only get 30? And it's actually kind of funny how, you know, you actually are getting way more by not doing the automated version at first. Okay, I can build the constructor now, which is getting a little dicey. Will that work? It will. Nice. That's probably pretty close to the limit of belt steepness. Steeposity. Whatever we want to call that. That's supposed to be wire. Okay, and then we need power from you to you, you to you, and also you to you. Sweet. Now everything's running. Code Cone, the recipe mechanic is not your favorite. You get to a certain point and you have to go and explore to find a bunch of hard drives to have. Yeah, and some of the special recipes are OP. I do agree. The alternate recipes are a bit all over the place. They did say they're rebalancing some of them. And I do think most of them are in a good place. And it's hard because everybody has different preferences, but there definitely were some alternate recipes that are just like, everybody's gonna use this. It's almost objectively better. Like, yes, it's kind of like in Magic the Gathering when a new card comes out and people are like, oh, that's strictly better version of this. And then some, you know, glasses pushing, well, actually, you know, vibe comes in and is like, well, in this exact particular situation that has never happened before in the history of Magic the Gathering, that other card would be better. And it's like, okay, well, yes, obviously, like, it's not always better, but some of the alternative recipes in this game are better 99% of the time. You know, like, for most players in most contexts, in most playthroughs, this alternative recipe is better. And there are definitely a few of those, and it does make hard drive hunting feel mandatory. And that is certainly a polarizing thing, right? Oh no! Too much power. It's just gonna do it again, right? Yeah. I have too many things. Can I craft a biomass burner already? I can. I'm gonna put this over here. I don't think I'm out of fuel. I just put in like 180 biomass. So we're fine on the volume of fuel. One other thing I've always felt that's kind of been odd to me is why can't you just connect? I almost feel like buildings should have 2 connections. It feels like you should be able to just chain all the power buildings straight. Can I? I feel like this is where I'm like, is it a fever dream that that's in the game? Or is it just something a lot of people wish was in the game? I can't remember. But I do feel like that should be a thing if it's not already. Can I just connect that to that and then that to something else? No, I can't. And that just feels weird to me. Like, because I feel like it's pretty natural to have all your power buildings in a line, and it would make sense to just be able to connect all the power buildings together, and then one on the end you attach to your line, rather than needing to have an extra power line for every, you know, in this case it's for every 2 burners. Once you get better power poles, it's for every 3 or 4. It wouldn't defeat the purpose of power poles in a lot of cases, because you'd still need power poles to like go around your base with power, to go from one area to another, you know, when you're like building a miner out there or building a new section of the base. But it would let you string together constructors or, you know, things like that. And I don't think that would be the worst thing, personally. We can go over there. Alright, that should get us back to power. How do I grab half of this? It's not even... Okay. Control right click seems to split it in half. Oh, but then control click just grabbed everything from my inventory. Shift click grabs that stack. Control click grabs everything. Okay. Makes sense. So shift click, split, shift click. And then, yeah, these are 40 each, right? No, 30. So they're slightly stronger. Cast screws, encased industrial pipes are a big deal. I do remember that one. That one is a big win, for sure. And then, is cast screws the steel screws, or is it the other one? Because I actually really like steel screws. It's annoying that you still have to make screws, but you need such a small amount of steel from them. It's kind of crazy. And the other one I really remember liking is a modular frame one. It makes modular frames way easier to make. I don't remember any of the details, so don't ask me. I just remember it's modular frames. Alright, I'm just gonna get some more biomass collected here. There's the logs that give me wood. I probably should just rush the chainsaw at this point, and then we can say goodbye to all of our biomass worries. For forever. What do we need for the chainsaw? Honestly, not that much. 100 whatchamacallits, which I can just throw right here. What is that? Limestone? No. Concrete. 100 concrete. Let me go get the limestone. Alright, gimme. Oh, there's a grab all button. Kind of just ignored that. Might want to click on that if I'm trying to grab all from a machine. Could make sense. Who am I to judge, though? What I really need is the storage container to dump into here, because it's such a small amount that you can actually put in the buffer. Oh no, there's clipping! Freak out! I do avoid clipping where I can, but this is kind of a rough situation. But that's actually, I guess, a good enough solution. Okay, you take all of that limestone. Yeah, Vatamouse, I seem to remember that I actually preferred to chain together. There are recipes for the things that need screws that don't need screws, and I would actually just avoid screws altogether, because you could combine there's one for reinforced plates and there's one for frames, and I think those are the main things you need screws for that don't use screws, and then you can just skip having screws in your base altogether until you get to the steel screws stage of things. I seem to remember that was a way that you could do it, and I liked that method. It did require, you know, doing some hard drive hunting in the early game. Sean, it gives you satisfaction, huh? It's almost like the game is satisfactory. But it truly is a satisfying game. I feel like they do a good job living up to their name of Satisfactory. They really do. Alright, I'm just gonna handcraft this wood. Can I just drop one out of a pile? Is that a thing? Or is that not a thing? Can I do it from my inventory? MB, good news. You might be out of the loop, but it's coming out tomorrow. I can't seem to find a combination of clicking and shifting and alting and controlling. Hold right click to set amount. Thank you. There it is. Okay. So I think I can do 4 at a time, so then we'll do it that way. This is honestly, like, you almost don't, if you have enough wood, you don't really need a constructor to do leaves, and the wood version is so fast. You get so much biomass, it's crazy. I do really feel like people overly complain about biomass. It's not that hard to get. And I don't even have a chainsaw yet. And we can do it that quickly and easily. What am I doing now? I am getting a chainsaw, that's what we're doing. 100 cables, all of that is already automated. I probably just didn't have enough iron for all that, so I'm just gonna go get my iron ore. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit. For those that are here, you can try to hold me accountable when we're actually doing the run. I want to talk a little bit about how I'm going to approach the Satisfactory 1.0 save, because I tend to kind of throw my head against the wall with factory games, and if I'm not careful, I can put myself in some situations that are less than optimal. And I actually think at some point I'm going to make a video about this on the channel, about like how to have fun playing Factorio is honestly the title of a video I'm going to make at some point. And I might make a similar one for Satisfactory, or it might just be for both, I don't know. But the point is, if you're not careful, if I'm not careful, I know this is true for me, and I've read enough on Reddit and other places to know that other people struggle too. And if you're not careful, you can get yourself into a situation where you're not having fun playing a game that you want to play. And that's a weird place to be, right? Because it's like, wait a second, I want to do this. I'm doing it because I want to, because I have time for it at the moment, and yet somehow I've got myself in a situation that's not fun. And like, you don't want to end up there. One of those things is aesthetics, right? If you have a horribly ugly factory that like, you hate the look of it, it's really annoying to move around, it's all spaghetti mess, and you don't like it, then that's going to make you enjoy it less. And we talked about this when I was in my Greg Tech New Horizons run, and I actually did put some time into prettifying it. I made most of my production rooms on the indoors bigger than I normally would. I actually feel like I did a pretty good job in my Greg Tech run of paying attention to those things, and I do think it paid off. I actually think I got further in the run because of the way that I built my interiors. And I wouldn't say I went over the top or anything. Don't go looking for my series to be like, oh, Krydak said he made this beautiful base. Like, it was beautiful for me. Normally what I make is like minimum viable product, you know, in a cave with a box of scraps kind of vibes. And I think that can be fun, and some people don't mind it, but as you go further in a save, it starts to feel, you know, people call it technical debt. You start to accumulate the technical debt of like having a messy spaghetti factory. And if your goal is to play longer into the game, that technical debt can start to make it feel like it's too big of a hurdle. And you're like, oh, if I want to go further, I would have to go clear out all my technical debt, and that's a huge project that I don't really want to do, because then I'm doing boring stuff. And that's really the crux of the problem, is this entire game, Factorio, you know, Satisfactory, Greg Tech New Horizons, yes, there's some amount of forwards progress, but there's also an immense amount of technical debt that we're constantly building, but we don't mind it, right? Because we're happy to fix the problem. Like just now, I was powering things with these two, it wasn't enough, so I made more power. That's an example of technical debt as well, but it's fun to fix those problems the first time. What's not fun is later, you know, finding out that, oh, I need to now put my power in a completely new spot, but it's not anything new at that point. It's like, I already made that power build, now I'm just moving it, or now I'm just repositioning it. And those are the sorts of things that tend to be less fun, especially if we're not ready for them. If we know going into it, like, yeah, okay, I'm excited, someday I'll move this power build to my mountain base up there, you know, and like, you know that's a thing you're gonna do, then it can be a big project that you're ready for. But all that to say, I'm rambling. My point is, my playthrough for Satisfactory, my plan isn't to focus super heavy on aesthetics. I'm not great at building with the tools that we have in Satisfactory. I will do a little bit of visuals. So my goal is to have factory floors. I will do some verticality, so I will have multiple levels to the factories, and I will put in some walls and conveyor walls and stuff, and I might do like sub-floors where I route belts and pipes, you know, in a basement floor kind of thing. And I might do a catwalk here to kind of go behind the constructors and over the belts that are, you know, going into their entrances. So that's kind of the loose plan, is to do like a minor focus on aesthetics, not major, but also not nothing, which is what I've done before. Because my goal is to get a little bit further than just the minimum end game. I generally only make it in these games to just barely beating it, and I'd like to get a little further than that in my Satisfactory run. So we'll see what that looks like. I don't know exactly what goals I can set, because I don't know what the goals look like after you win. You know, whatever the story mode winning is, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna get to that almost if it kills me. And if I'm really having a bad time, I'll probably call it quits there. But I'd like to get further. So my goal now is to get further than that. I don't know exactly how much further, but a little bit of mega basing is my hope. And so because I want to get a little further than just scratching by the finish line by the skin of my teeth, I do want to put a little bit of attention into making my factory look nice. And even more important than looking nice, I want it to feel nice. I want it to be something where I'm like, I'm walking by my rows of constructors and I'm like, oh, this is an awesome factory. Because that's part of what makes the game fun, is walking past your accomplishments constantly. And if your accomplishments kind of suck, or they don't feel like things that are good accomplishments to you, then yeah, of course that's not a good thing. And yeah, Code Cone, I completely forgot to mention this. I've thought it 100 times as I've been thinking about Satisfactory coming out, but blueprints are a big thing that I haven't played with yet. I haven't played since the blueprints got released, and I'm excited to try out kind of making modular blueprintable builds. And so that's also something that I'm excited to kind of try out and dive into and see if we can make some modular things that are fun in the blueprint designer. So yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. Like, I am just planning on playing the game and having fun as I play, but I do want to focus on a little bit of that aesthetic purpose when I'm building areas of the factory, which could mean slightly less efficient, right? I might spend a few hours of gameplay not progressing towards beating the game, but instead working on a factory floor that looks nice for my new steel smelting outpost or whatever. You know, so I want to put a little bit of time into that stuff, like I did in my Greg Tech run. And I think that paid off. I think most of you guys as viewers don't mind that. In fact, some of you really enjoy it. And some of you are maybe kind of on the fence. Some of you might just skip it on YouTube when you're like, oh, he's just doing aesthetic stuff. I'll skip to the next episode. So I will probably try to do it in sections rather than constantly going back and forth. Because sometimes that is a little bit less of the content people are looking for. But overall, you know, I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think people are going to be like, wait, he's trying to make something look nice? This is the most boring content ever. But if I were to like work on making things look nice for 10 hours straight, there are people who aren't quite as interested in that. And so, all that to say, I do want to grow with that, and I want my base to look nice when I'm done with it. And I don't want it to look like this horrific spaghetti mess where I'm like, I did make it to the finish line, but at what cost? Ooh. You're right, I can just go into deconstruct mode and hover over it and see what's in it. That's handy. And yeah, the new 5x5 blueprints are going to be helpful. Apophenia, I don't know if you saw. There is a blueprint maker 2.0 that instead of being 4x4x4, it's 5x5x5, which is about twice the volume. If I'm doing the math correctly. Not exactly, but... If you're using verticality, that is a lot more space. If you're using it more for the two-dimensional footprint, 5x5 is, you know, about 50% bigger than 4x4. Yeah, exactly. 25 versus 16. It's a lot more. It's not huge comparatively, so I don't know. Some people sounded pretty underwhelmed by the 5x5, but it does sound to me like 5x5 is good because a lot of people felt like they were just a little bit too small. It's like just not quite enough space. So I think 5x5 is going to make a lot of people happy. And I think there were also a decent amount of people that really would have preferred 6x6 instead. I think it was kind of like 5x5 was kind of like, yeah, that's better than 4x4, but still not quite what we wanted. It sounds like about half of the complainers got what they wanted, and about half of the complainers still would have liked a little bit more. So I'm sure there will be a mod on day 1 or day 2 that gives us 6. Is that something mods can do? If it is something mods can do, I'm sure there will be a mod that will do it. Oh, look. It'll let me build it over the portable miners. I feel like they changed that. I think the portable miners used to fight a lot harder, and you could build the miner, and then you could sometimes fit portable miners like just barely on the edge. But yeah, there's already a mod that has huge blueprints. Okay, well in that case, yes, I am certain that that will continue to be a thing. Now, one thing I still haven't seen is all the zooping stuff they've done, and I don't know, I haven't unlocked it yet, the stackable conveyor pulls, but what I really wished was that there was a way, you know how I can build conveyors and I can go to this and then drag up? You click and drag up. What I want is a way where when I drag up, it's placing stackables underneath itself rather than the regular pull. And that's something I don't think I've ever seen, and I still don't think it does. And that I don't like that, because that's really annoying when you're wanting to build a conveyor that's 3 in the air, but you want to build it on top of stackable pulls rather than regular pulls. There's a mod for that too? Okay, well that could be a mod that for me is worth actually downloading for 1.0 if it works with 1.0. Because that's actually a pretty big deal for me. It's really annoying because often if I'm bringing in like coal from an outpost, there's usually another vein near the coal vein, like maybe there's a caterium or a sulfur or a quartz, and I end up wanting to bring in that as well on a second belt, but I want to bring it in on the same general line of belts. But then if I was building it like this, well now I can't add a second line of belts to this, because this is regular poles, and I might want to do it either on top or underneath or whatever, but yeah, I think I'm saying that because it does feel like a bit of a simpler mod. That seems like it would be 1.0 fairly quickly. Maybe by the time I really need it, it'll be updated. Also, when do I get splitters? Here. Okay, maybe I'll do that first. Sorry, my throat. Sometimes it just gets a frog in there. It's real dry. Okay, I need to grab my wire, which is here. And cable. Oh yeah, we got all the stuff. We got all the stuff. We got it all on UHF. Kaboom! Oh, we gotta watch it.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your
There
factory.
it goes. This time it's not invisible.
We consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity display will help you measure.
Wait, productivity display? I should have listened to what you were saying. How do you get to the productivity display? What is she on about there? Oh, is she just talking about the, just this? What is she talking about? Wasn't that already showing? I'm confused. Okay, do I have what I need? I actually haven't even looked at my numbers. I have the cable, I have... Yeah, I just need to plop it all in there. So now I can do the thing someone was just talking about, where I have 2 pods in a row. Because it says pod will return in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Wait, I can't activate it though. Does it have to be before the first pod escapes, maybe? If you want to get 2 in a row? Maybe that's it. Someone was just talking about launching 2 at once. I don't remember who it was. Oh, you have to deposit it all first. Interesting. What do I do? Limestone goes here. Ah, okay, Casey. I understand. So you can fill up 2 without launching, and then you launch it and you get both. That's cool. It's pretty neat, but now I have to wait. You know what I could do while we wait is get power going to our mining outpost here. Wait, what? Can you, like, hold shift? Keep going? Or do you always have to click again? Mining outpost. Hey, what else would you call this? That is what it is it not? A small, not that far away iron mining outpost? There it is. Delicious iron ore. 120 a minute, which is actually twice as fast as the belt can handle. Yeah, I couldn't remember if pure nodes... Yeah. I couldn't remember what all the numbers were. I'm glad that we can upgrade the belt and still have a full belt. Okay. So that means I should have splitters and mergers already. And how do I... There's like these different hotbars. Forgotten. Do like you hold something? Or is it like shift 1? No. That's the console.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
Yeah. Okay. I can feed you this stuff. I'm trying to get to my other hotbars. You know, you can have multiple hotbars here. I just don't remember how to get
maximum
to them.
efficiency of
Cycle hotbar. Right alt? Alt plus scroll. Oh, I wasn't gonna happen upon that by accident. Are those emotes? Aww. Fun. Okay. I don't remember what I put on my hotbars. I know my Factorio hotbars by heart now. I do not remember. And I probably changed it, but I'm at least gonna do splitter and merger on 5 and 6 for now. Okay, so then this thing we're gonna have go across. And then we're gonna do some splitters. There. There. And there. I wonder... how steep can we go? Actually pretty close to max steepness here, so I'll just attach it. Okay. When do I get lifts? I think I already have them, actually. Yeah. So I could have gone straight across and lifted down. Guess, would that look better? And can't I change the mode? Quick switch is not switching this. So a regular conveyor can't be switched into... Isn't there a hot wheel? Build wheel? There it is, if you hold E. But you can't switch into a lift from a regular conveyor. That feels like you should be able to me. Maybe for technical reasons that's not possible. But I'd much rather change... Like, on the wheel, I'd much rather have the lift and non-lift there together. 'Cause yeah, I mean, I can do this. And then attach it. Does that look better? I guess that looks a little better. And we gotta practice our aesthetics. Did I do the same height? I did. Nice work. Okay, so if I did that right, which I can't really tell because we're all the way down here, everything should be getting some iron. Perfect. Hey, this is not spaghetti. This ain't no spaghetti. This is very well organized for not having foundations or grids. Ha! Yeah, no technical debt detected yet. Other than the fact that eventually everything will be on foundations. Okay, I know I talked about technical debt, and you guys are gonna give me a hard time, but like obviously at the very beginning, everything you do is gonna get undone at some point. Because at the very beginning of the game, for the first 5 to 10 hours, there is a level of like, yeah, you just have to do what you need to do to progress. You don't have the options available to do cool stuff. So there's always some amount of spaghetti in the beginning, but this is quite organized for the beginning, I would say. And then what do we got for biomass here? Okay. I should have the chainsaw now, right? I need to go make one. in the old equipment workshop. What I need to do is take a quick break, actually. So I'm gonna leave you guys to watch the iron for a moment, and I will be right back. Stand on the power. Can I jump on this? Maybe? I can jump on that. I can jump on that. Ooh, platforming. Heck yeah. Alright. Okay. Where's my button? Quick break. I will be back in like 3 to 5 minutes. I'll use the restroom. You guys go do the same. Stretch your legs, get something to drink, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Okay, so what now? We've got basic stuff. We're making a chainsaw. That's what now. Making the chainsaw. Oh look, I already have what I need. Perfect. I needed 5 rips, and we had 5 rips to make the ripper. What as we could call it. It needs fuel, I believe. So we'll need to grab some leaves here. Make biomass. Oh, those aren't grabbable leaves. Wait, what? These aren't grabbable leaves? I swear these were grabbable before I had the chainsaw in my hands, and now that it's in my hand. Yeah, that's weird. It won't let you grab them. Odd. Odd. Okay, so then... see if this is enough. I don't remember what the biomass to biofuel solid fuel ratio is. But hopefully it's another like 5 to 1 or whatever. So wait, I can right click and open in codecs. That's nice. It is 8 to 4. Okay. So then I can switch this over. And then we get some biofuel. Okay, beautiful. Now that's 8 to 4. What's the... Is it also more efficient, or is it just burns longer? It is more efficient. Nice. You need both hands on the chainsaw. Safety regulations. Fair enough. Fair enough. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking. Let's get one of these big boy trees. I will say, for how advanced this game is, and for how modern this game is, the fact that the tree just disappears, it feels a little, what's the word? Lame? I think lame is the word I'm looking for. Like, a lot of trees have at least a basic tree felling animation at this point. And it feels like for how a big budget this game is, they could have something like that. We'll see. Maybe that made it into 1.0. Maybe it made it on the priority list. What's up, Salsa? I will not be building a house. I might build a giant factory. Or something. H hides. H for hide. That makes sense. I do need to make more biofuel, though. So the wood to biomass is easy enough to do by hand. I'll let the leaf one run in the constructor. Yeah, exactly, Wascally. There's a fair bit of world jank, and I feel that since they're leaving early access, I'm hoping some of those things kind of get de-janked a little bit, because it's like you're literally... I don't know who's the biggest. I think Factorio is still bigger than Satisfactory, but it's like you're like the second biggest factory game in existence, and you got... I mean, I don't know if a lot of money is a helpful term, but you somewhere on the priority list should be trees not just literally disappearing when you chainsaw them. I don't feel like that's something that you could just ignore and be like, yeah, nobody cares. It's like, no, people do care. Like, this game has really good graphics, and you're holding a chainsaw and you cut a tree, and it doesn't even fall over and then disappear. Even that would be worlds better than it literally just poofs out of existence with a couple leaf fluttering animations. I don't know. It feels pretty lame to me. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here, but it feels pretty lame. Yeah, I mean, performance is a concern, but you're never chainsawing... Like, you don't automate robots running around with chainsaws constantly cutting down trees in the background of your visuals. Like, you, the player, are the only one... And I mean, if you're in multiplayer, there could be 4 people with chainsaws at once. But, like, compared to all the other animations that are happening... Having a player chainsawed tree cut down animation is not within a realm of impossibility. Of that I am pretty confident. It's clearly something that was never high enough on their priority list for it to be worth it in early access. That's understandable. I'm hoping it made it somewhere on the list for the 1.0 release. Because yeah, it doesn't make the game worse, it does make the game janky. And eventually jank starts to add up into a worse player experience, especially for newer players, right? Like, there might be people who actually are really like, wait, really? The trees just disappear? Like, that could really frustrate some people when you play lots of other survival crafting games these days and you chop down a tree, and it might even have an animation where the tree falls over and then you chop the tree into smaller logs and then you collect those, like I'm thinking of Medieval Dynasty, for example. And when you're going from that to a game like this, it does feel pretty jarring how weak it is to just... You chainsaw it, it disappears, everything gets magically transported into your inventory, and you move on. Like, it almost feels like, why are we even doing this? No, but see, Wascally, that's where I think you're wrong. Like, you don't have to increase the complexity of every tree that exists in the world just sitting there. It becomes a special animation factor where it takes... Like, there are solutions to the problem that do not involve making the default state of the game more complex. It would be something that would only get triggered when you chainsaw the tree. And so it's not like when you chainsaw a tree, there's millions of other things that are happening. When you chainsaw a tree, it's literally what you, the player, are doing with your time. So putting a little bit of focus on like making the experience of the player, because yeah, the factory stuff is great, but you're not looking at the factory when you're chainsawing a tree. You're looking at the tree. So having some sort of animation where this specific object does something other than disappear out of existence when you finish chainsawing it could be a good thing. Even if it just fell over and made a tree falling noise and then disappeared. You know, like, I am quite certain that there are solutions to those problems that aren't, like, gonna mess with the performance of the game as a whole when you're not even touching trees, right? Like, I understand that there's a lot I don't know about what goes on underneath the hood, but I'm pretty sure if you added a tree felling animation, it wouldn't just make the game's performance worse in a factory game. Like, it feels like you guys are making it a way bigger deal than I'm talking. It's not like I'm saying trees are constantly physics enabled, and every single tree in the universe, if the wind blows too hard, it also needs to fall over and break properly. I'm not saying any of that. I feel like that's what you guys are making it. It's like, no, just play an animation, damn it. There's a million animations in this game that play when you do things, and they don't have a performance hit when they're not doing a thing. Yes, would it make the game files a few megabytes larger, maybe, possibly? You might need to add a couple new textures. Like, yes, there are things like that, and those are probably the reasons they haven't done it, right? Is because, like, it does actually require a little bit of work. It's not, I'm not saying they could do it with zero work, but I do think they could do it without, like, the player feeling any negative effects from what they do, is kind of the point I'm making. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, Apophenia. Like, I don't think the game would have a huge performance hit or anything, but it certainly would require dev work that they haven't had the energy or time to put in. My point is just that I hope they've done it for 1.0, because it is kind of janky. And like I said, it's not a game-ruining experience or anything, but it certainly affects the game. And the more of those little janks you have, the more they add up. And the further you become from being, like, the perfect game. Because each time the jank happens for a player, the player has to decide, do I forgive that, or do I get bothered by it? And even if you forgive it, when you make the decision to, oh, I forgave that jank, and then, oh, 20 minutes later I ran into this other janky thing, and okay, well, I get that. That's understandable that they didn't want to do that. It's a factory game after all. But then you keep saying that, and eventually you've added up a pile of things, and that pile of things can actually be kind of bothersome. And every player is going to have a different, you know, like, line on what feels like jank versus not. Every player is going to have a different preference on how much they care. I'm not at all saying that there's an objective amount of jank that's acceptable or not. I am just saying that the more little janks you have that you're asking players to forgive, the more people that will be turned off to your game at the end of the day. Like, on average, over a large player base, which this game does have a large player base. So I promise there's some person somewhere that has been frustrated enough with the tree animation, whether they knew it or not, that was part of why they stopped playing the game. You know, like, it does add up somewhere down the line. And then there's the other question, of course, which I agree with all of you saying things like this, of like, the opportunity cost of putting time into a tree felling animation means they're not improving something else. And is that worth it? And that's a very different question that I do not claim to say that it ever has been worth it for them. They know best, or at least, yeah, of anybody, they know best. They don't know perfectly what their priorities should be, because nobody does, but they know best what their priorities should be of anybody. And if they have not felt like a good priority for them would be tree felling animations, I do trust them. I can still be bothered by it as a player, though, even knowing, like, they haven't worked on it, probably because it hasn't been important enough to them. I still might be sitting here as a player thinking, I wish they'd work on it. I'm glad they've done other things instead, but what I as the player want is both, right? I as the player want everything, and that's not wrong of me. If I complain about it and am a jerk about it and have no understanding that they can't give me everything, that would be bad. But I can want everything and accept as a player that I know I'm not going to get everything. I can still have the desire that they fix all those little jinx. And as we were saying, yes, it has been a early access experience, and so we'll see what changes for the final. What milestone should we do? Awesome sync? I think we should do the awesome sync so we can get some walls and do it just a smidgen before we log off tonight of some beautification. We can build a factory and some walls, and I guess we'll need to automate limestone, won't we? But yeah, I love talking about dev stuff like that, or just game design stuff, and like, you know what, because I find, man, I could rant about certain things for days. I go into a lot of discords when I get into a game or a mod. Often I get into a game and then I pretty quickly start looking like, are there overhaul mods for this game? And then I find the biggest, baddest, Pyanodonzist overhaul mod there is, and then I go play that one. That just tends to be what I do with games these days. And a lot of times those mods have a lot of jank in them, or a lot of questionable design decisions. And I say questionable on purpose. I'm not saying bad, because I don't believe that I alone have a pulse on what good design decisions are. I think my opinion matters somewhat, but it isn't inherently right. But I find that when I bring these things up on Discord, these design decision questions, I'm often met with a wall of reasons why it can't be done, and usually those are either incorrect or they're missing the scope of what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, maybe the thing I said exactly can't be done, but like, obviously I don't really care if that it's like, I'm talking about the general problem of this, and even if it can't be done in the way that I was talking about it, maybe it could be done in a different way. It's so interesting to me how much people jump to defending something because they like it, but they're not defending it. They're not like having the conversation I'm trying to have. And for the most part, you guys in the comments here were fine. But even a little bit, it was getting into that like, well, they didn't do it because of performance, or they didn't do it because of this. And it's like, that isn't really relevant, because I, as the user, am having a bad experience. I'm just categorizing it as a bad experience in terms of how much it matters. The trees not having an animation is very minor, right? Like I talked about, it's a very small piece of jank. It's very minor. But if you had to categorize it as a good experience or a bad experience, it certainly is not a good experience when the tree just poofs out of existence. So it lands in the bad experience category. And I don't think there's such a thing as neutral. I'll fight you on that. Everything lands in the good or bad. How big of a good or bad is obviously variable. It might be a very small bad or a very small good, but there's no such thing as like, it had zero impact on me. Everything has an impact on you, whether you know it or not. Anyway, all that to say, what was my point? My point was, when I'm noting that I have a bad experience, what devs should do, and what Coffee Stain has done, they've done a good job of this. I've actually been very impressed with their development, like back and forths with the players, rather than saying, oh, well, we can't do it because blank, or we even that actually is better than what I'm getting at. A lot of devs will just go, a lot of people will go like, well, because of performance, you can't do that, because of, you know, because of this reason you can't do that. And it's like, the conversation I'm looking to have is not about the technical whatevers. I don't really care that it might be a performance hit to add an animation. It might be true. What I care about is it's janky when I do this. Wait, where'd the tree go? Wait, now stuff's in my inventory? that was jank, right? That's what I as the player care about. And as a dev, the conversation you should be trying to have, or if as a mod community, if there's a new player to your mod who's talking about some janky things like that, the conversation you should be trying to have with them is not telling them all the reasons that their opinion is wrong about feeling like that's janky. Like, there might be a million reasons why the mod is janky in the way that it is. It might be a game limitation, right? A lot of mods are built within games that have a lot of hard limits, and so a lot of mods end up being janky because the game doesn't let the mod do the things the way they want to do things. So, like, that's very common. But that's not the conversation I'm trying to have. The conversation I'm trying to have is like, well, I very much found this thing to be janky, and the question is, what can you do about it? Not, why can't you do things the way I want to be done? So you should be asking me, what was your experience with that? Why was it janky? What felt bad about it? And it's like, well, it felt bad because the tree poofed out of existence. And so as the dev, you might not be able to implement the solution the player wants, which would maybe be like a physics-based tree that actually falls down and bounces around and stuff. But you might be able to find out by asking the player more about what they experience. Is like, oh, the real jank here that they're experiencing is that the sprite goes from existing to not existing in literally like one frame, and there's no weight to chainsawing something. Chainsawing in real life is a big deal. Have you guys ever felt a tree fall? Like, it's cool. It's a big deal. And like, I as the player would love for felling trees in this game to feel cool. Right now it just feels like I'm literally like not even doing anything, right? The tree literally just disappears, and there's not even a tree felling sound, there's not a tree felling animation. So there's a felt jankness there, and you guys are right that there might be a million reasons why they haven't implemented it, but none of that is relevant to the fact that I experienced a bad thing, right? My bad experience is there regardless of whether it exists in the game for good reasons or not. And so it's interesting to have the conversation because I'm not coming at it from a perspective of I'm a dev and I'm trying to solve it with the devs. I'm coming at it from the perspective of I'm the consumer, I'm having a bad experience, and it's the devs' job to figure out what they can and can't do about that, and if it is or isn't worth their time. And that's the perspective that you guys are often taking as chat. And I'm here to say, like, you can take two perspectives, right? You're not the dev, so you don't even know what they can and can't do, to be fair. Like, there might be performance solutions that they can implement. They just don't have the dev resources to implement them, or the manpower time, or whatever you want to call it, the man hours. And, like, that could be the reason. Or, this legitimately could be on the list of reasons. Maybe that no one's really thought about it. Like, someone noticed it once, but maybe, like, they just didn't really like care to put it on a list. So it's possible, and I don't think this is super likely, but it's possible that at Coffee Stain Studios, in their big list of stuff they could do, a tree felling animation somehow never worked its way onto that list. Like, they did this as the placeholder effect, and enough people have gotten used to it that play it that it just never got on the list. That's technically possible. You guys don't know that that isn't true. So as users, the goal isn't to say no to other users who want things. The goal is to say, oh, you're right, it would be sweet if there's a tree felling animation. Let's push for that. Let's make a post on their little, I forget what it's called, Satisfactory dot, what is it called? Anyway, a place that you can put feedback. And so I think the goal should be actually supporting people in these wanting other things rather than telling them it's not possible, when it's like, well, the devs can decide if it's possible or if it's worth their time. I mean, Wascally, I sort of disagree with you. Yes, it's in UE5, but just because you know the engine a game is made in doesn't really mean you know what isn't possible for the game. And again, I come back to, like, you're focusing on narrowing down to a solution before you've focused on brainstorming up what the problem is and what's the felt experience that needs to be changed. So starting with, you can't do tree felling animations because blank, and I'm not saying anyone was doing that. I don't think anyone said those exact things. But that would be the wrong place to start when the player just told you, hey, it's kind of janky that trees don't fall over. Where you need to start is, okay, let's broaden this. What's the main issue? Is it literally that the trees aren't falling? Is it that tree cutting isn't fun? Is it that the sound isn't good? Is it that the visuals aren't good? Is it some combination of those things? Like, you actually need to zoom out and get a feel for, like, what's the felt experience that's lacking? And once you know what that is, then you can find solutions that may not have existed if the conversation was only ever about tree felling. You know, maybe it's like you can't end up felling trees, but the sound is better and there's a better generic animation that plays. Like someone mentioned having the tree explode into wood chips. It actually already does, watch. It's just so minor that you don't even notice it unless you're like looking up. Like, watch, there is an animation that plays, but it's so tiny, right? That was an entire tree, and it played an animation that only made like 10 pieces of bark chips and a little bit of dust. And the dust cloud was a small spherical dust cloud centered on a tree that's, 20 meters tall. So I would even be fine with a minor solution as the player of like, at least make that feel and look more in line with the size of the tree. Even if that's all you can do with your dev time and your resources, at least make that a little better. Like the level of jank is actually pretty high when you look at what's happening with tree cutting right now. And like, again, I'm not here to tell them they're doing their job wrong. I'm just here to tell them what I want as the player. And it's very possible that a Coffee Stain dev could listen to me saying all that and not change it, and they'd still be doing a perfect job at their job, because their job is to decide what is and isn't worth working on. But like, me as the player, my job, even if I don't know I'm doing it, what I'm always doing when I play a game is noticing like, what is janky, what isn't janky, what do I like, what don't I like, and those things just add up to your experience of a game. And so removing all of those negative experiences is a good thing. And so the devs just have to figure out which are the negative experiences that the most players are having, or are having the most powerfully, right? If half of your players are experiencing a minorly bad thing, you probably want to fix it. If only 5% of your players are experiencing something, but it's game breaking, you probably need to fix that too, right? So it's kind of like you're almost like multiplying the number of people that have the problem times how big the problem is. And with this one, probably not a lot of people care very much about the tree felling because it is such a small part of the game. Once you're past biomass stage, you don't even cut trees down with chainsaws very often, right? And so it's like, it's such a minor thing. And the game's not about tree cutting, like it's about making factories, and the game does that so great. Like, most people don't give a crap. I don't really give a crap, but if you really focus on it and notice it, there is some jank there. And so it probably, if it is on their lists of things to do, it probably has been pushed to the bottom, and I actually think for good reason. But I do still hope it's fixed, right? I hope for a game where everything on the list gets gotten to at some point. And I don't think that's wrong of me as the player to want that. Like, I do think at some point they've had enough dev time where I'd hope improving tree felling got to their attention level at some point, right? If it never gets to their attention level, then that means they don't have enough dev time. And again, it's still in early access, or it has been. And I'm saying, like, thinking into the future, long term into the future. Like, let's say they release a DLC 4 years from now, and tree felling is just as janky. I would say that's then a problem, because it's like and a problem. I use such polarizing words. You guys hear me say that, and your defensive hackles go up or something. Like, it's fine. They're not bad devs. It's just like, if it is on their list and they decided, let's just keep not fixing that, let's work on the DLC instead. That's actually an approach that I personally don't think is healthy for your game. Like, I do think you should try to actually perfect it before you even start to think about DLC. And, obviously there's, at some point, there's the most minor things that like only one person has ever even thought about caring about, and you can't get to all of them. But if you were to make a list about how janky is it, I think tree felling would be pretty high. It's just a minor gameplay feature at the end of the day, so that's probably why they haven't dealt with it. Anyway, I can stop ranting about tree felling. We do want to get to what's it called? This milestone. Wait till I see spiders jumping through walls. Wait, can they actually jump through walls? They don't have collision with walls? Also, Wascally, I completely agree. They're for sure tired. Also, Edison, what do you mean you are synchronized? I'm sorry, I didn't respond to that earlier. Also, toilet flushing, A+. A+ for toilet flush. Now we just need golf. The golf that we're supposed to get. Alright, do I need more copper? I think I'm out of copper. No, I have a little bit. Sometimes walls mean nothing. See, that's the thing, is I very rarely even built walls in this game, so I don't actually know. I do know the big, what are they called? The strange creature, the whale tick things that walk around on tall legs.
Testing of materials on exoplanets.
Those do some weird things to your factory sometimes.
Funneling parts into the Awesome Resource Sink, depending on their amount and complexity, will grant you coupons in the Awesome Store, which can be exchanged for bonus rewards.
Awesome Store!
Examples of bonus content are parts, walls, factory attachments, and cosmetics.
Oh, I need 15?
Fixit is working hard to develop additional options, which will be added to the Awesome Store in the future.
Alright, I need 15 rips.
Go Awesome.
Anyway, after all that rant, I hope you guys didn't misread my vibe as I think Satisfactory devs aren't doing a good job. I think they're doing an amazing job. They're probably the best... Best? No, I can't say best, but they're one of the best. I can say that for sure. One of the best dev teams of all time. Just because of how they've done community management, it's more clear how they've also done development. And I think it's like the poster child for if you're making a game and you have a medium-sized studio, you know, more than just 1 to 3 people or something working on a game, like you should look to how they've done Satisfactory as your inspiration, because they've done such a good job with it. And I think a lot of devs could take a lot of good notes. And I'll look at Factorio. Factorio devs are an amazing dev team from a development perspective, but from a community management perspective, they can't hold a candle to what Satisfactory's done. And I do think that that's interesting, because the community management piece has just been so good with Satisfactory, and I think they've gotten so many more committed players because of that. And, you know, players who are going to sell other people on the game, players who are always going to be playing the game, players who definitely will buy the DLC if it ever were to come out, type thing. And of course, unfortunately, everything comes down to money. A dev team has to ask, is it worth paying someone to do that sort of thing? Or will we end up just making the experience better but not more profitable? Those are questions you gotta ask. I get it. I'm just gonna put that... no, I don't like that. That's in the way. We're gonna put the awesome sink over here for now. I'll probably feed it with a, just with a storage container for a while. Sure. You can have my portable miners. How much are those worth? I'm curious. Oh, I gotta power it up. Power. I think I have enough power. I'm not gonna check the numbers. I do, okay. It actually, wait, DNA points? The heck is a DNA point? What? That's new. If I give it, are those DNA points? Or does it have to be from alien creatures? Those are just regular points. What if I feed you the hog carapace or whatever, hog remains? I literally, this is new. This did not used to be a thing. Oh, you have to craft them? Oh, interesting. So this will just give me regular points? Oh, it won't even accept those. Interesting. There we go. That's, wow. I missed that. I don't think I've ever, and I haven't researched it yet either, but I don't think I ever saw that in an update. If I did, I just forgot about it. That sounds completely new to me. That's crazy. Okay, I need some awesome points. What's the best way to get awesome points right now? Probably like iron plates or screws? I don't know. How's power looking? Power's fine. Ore? Is ore really the best? It'd be cool if it told me how many points the last item was worth. Ore is not very good. I mean, it's good because it's free, but it's bad because it's only 1 per point. So I could pretty easily set up, you know, just automate the ore straight into the sink kind of thing. But anywho, I need my awesome shop. Can I automate DNA point crafting? I don't know, Royash. Chat will have to answer that for us. I has no idea. I need 15. No. I'm not looking to make the sink. I'm looking to make the shop. Ta-da! Alright. What can we get? Unavailable. Oh, interesting. So something, right, you have to unlock stuff. Okay. Conveyor wall mount, conveyor lift, floor holes, foundations. Ooh, we could make a skate park. When do I get the factory vehicle? 10 tickets? Coffee cup, yeah. Just buy some biofuel. Foundation materials. Cool. Roof. Road barrier. Industrial walkways and catwalks. Are those like the same thing? They just look different? Pretty much. The walkways have no stairs, whereas the catwalk does. Catwalk has ramp and stairs. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like coffee cup is priority number 1. But we're gonna need some more stuff. What's biomass net me here? Biomass gets me a cool 12 points apiece. Not bad. I wonder what solid biofuel gets me. Because that could actually be pretty good if it's a lot more than 12. We could just go tree chopping to feed our factory point addiction. I think it's doing a weird blurring thing. You guys see that? Did those items look weird to you? They're like blurry on the belt. Is there a graphics setting that's doing that? It's weird. It just does that normally. Okay, these are, wow, these are worth a lot. These are worth 48. Okay. Who needs to put biofuel into burners when you can put biofuel into nothing? Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to get my foundations. Back to the janky tree cutting that I will not rant about this time. Yeah, it really is funny. I know I made such a big deal out of it, but like the number of minutes you spend cutting trees compared to the number of minutes you spend playing Satisfactory has got to be the smallest percentage ever. It's such a small percentage of the game, and even in the time when you're doing it, it's such a small percentage of your gameplay. So it really does not matter. Very much. Technically matters more than 0. What the? Oh. Hey, come here. I'll chainsaw you. Can you chainsaw enemies? No. That's lame. You really should be able to chainsaw enemies. Come on. Instead, I poke you. Thank you. Okay, back to this. Biomass. Uh-oh. There we go. There goes our power. Now I can't unsee the jank. Sorry, Java Flux. I've ruined your entire Satisfactory experience. Unsatisfactory, as Nathan said earlier. That's funny. It's now the most unsatisfying game when you're cutting trees specifically. And that's what's funny. I would actually bet that most people didn't notice, right? Like they didn't even notice it. And someone pointing it out like me just now they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. That is kind of weird. But it really, that's why it isn't a big deal, is because most people didn't notice. Which one ran out? You both still have stuff. You ran out. That should last a while. Those are 4 per minute, so that's 15 minutes at full. Well, okay, I need to make more of the biofuel. Let me go ahead and automate this, because I just have too much in my inventory. So you get all my biomass. Parley Charker, the change is that you can feed biomass burners with belts. So we can put all of our biofuel on a belt with splitters and just basically have power automated. Like we'll need to feed leaves and wood into the beginning, but that's gonna be basically everything from there can be automated with biofuel. Starting with 1.0. Alright, now the leaves I'm just gonna ignore for now. Okay, I also need foundations. We have not unlocked that yet. So let's do that. I need a bit more of the concrete. You know, I'm gonna need a miner, so let's just get that going. Personally, and I know that this is for flavor reasons, I don't love that you need a portable miner to build a miner Mark 1, because then it just means you need to carry random portable miners around, and it's bothersome. Rather than it just being a, you know, conglomeration of rods and plates and whatnots. I just find it kind of annoying. Oh, and I'm missing some concrete. Yeah, you need 3 for Mark 3, exactly. It's just kind of like, it prevents you from being able to have your standard loadout of inventory and be able to build a miner when you weren't planning on making one. And so it almost feels like you either have to always have these in your inventory for a just-in-case scenario, or I don't know. It just, no matter how you slice it, it kind of gets annoying to me. The new system, however, spoilers, but the new system that uses Mercer spheres will help a lot with that. Alright, so we're just gonna go straight in. That. We get power over here. There we go. Get rid of this. And then we'll build storage container. Alright, now what's the rates? I haven't looked at the rates on any of this. You're a regular limestone node, and you give me 45 a minute of usage. That's almost the full belt, so... True, you guys are right. I've actually done that for MAMs to research hard drives when I'm on the go. You can just build an equipment workshop where you're sitting, craft one, and then deconstruct it. I think I've actually done that before. I do find that a janky process, but it's like, I don't know. Again, these are very minor things where some of it's just opinion. Like, I'd rather just not have to do that, but that doesn't. Other people might prefer it that way, or think that it makes sense, or it's more flavorful, or all of the above. So there's nothing really wrong with it. Alright, I want to get all of those going. Okay, so now we've automated concrete. Das concrete, baby. And I should be able to finish unlocking the foundations. Now that, talk about tree felling isn't satisfying, but pushing that button, that is satisfying.
To build basic factory
You get a nice
infrastructure
thunk.
and improved overview. Building these will
And that
provide
feels
a grid
good.
for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Oh, you're synchronized now. You're watching on 2x, Edison. I understand. That's funny. Build a lookout tower. I've always felt like lookout towers are not tall enough. Like, they're like almost, I don't know. I realize they're just for the early game, but they always feel kind of extra short to me. They're like barely taller than a constructor. Okay. No, I guess they're like 3 constructors, but they are pretty short. Yeah, the space elevator deployment is awesome. How expensive is it? Can I afford it already? Not really. I need a lot of wire for that. What I'd like to do now is to... What was I just thinking? It wasn't foundations. Oh, I can do the zooping. I've never done zooping. This will be my first zoop. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna look for more limestone, actually. Okay, equidistant. There and there. I think that direction's a little more open. So we're gonna get... Oh, right, I can't just jump. Whoops. Okay, I should have enough to build a decent number of power poles here. We'll follow the river here. I feel like they might have increased the distance that you can build the tier 1 power lines. This feels pretty far. Also, speaking of jank that at the end of the day doesn't matter that much. Look at this. You go from swampy, cloudy water to nice crystal clear water with literally a straight line. That's pretty ugly. Is that just my settings? I have my settings up like really high though. So if it is my settings, it's a weird one that sets it to be that, because pretty much everything's on ultra. So I don't think that would be my settings being the problem there. Oh, hi. I know it said there was aggression detected a second ago, and I was curious why I wasn't getting attacked, and there he was. They said they have a lot of water things to work on. Yeah. Does make sense. Okay, there it is. 90 meters. Oh. Oh no, that's not it. Is this it? No, that's just a rock. There it is. That's the thing. Okay. Wait. There we go. Slide. Yeah, I mean, Update 8 is very far back into it. They've done... I would imagine they've done an insane amount on top of Update 8 at this point. Because we've gone for a long time without any big updates. And even in the last few updates, they had talked about, you know, splitting off, like they're doing the final development build, and not everything that they're doing, even back when they were doing Update 6, 7, and 8, they weren't putting all of the changes they were making into Update 6, 7, and 8. I think that's been going for a long time now. So... Okay, so to get a portable miner, I will get my little equipment workshop, craft one, deconstruct it, and then build a miner. Wow, there are a lot of little aggressive dudes over here. Where'd you go? Okay, so which one is this? Another normal node. I feel like I don't really want to belt that far, so I'm just gonna once in a while stop by to grab hundreds of concrete over here. And where'd I put the power pole? Right here. Okay, that should do it. And set you to concrete. There we go. There you are, my friend. Now, I dream of a world where we could ride on the conveyor into the machine and we could see what's happening. That would be so cool. And no, you guys don't need to tell me the 5 million reasons that that's not a thing. But it would be cool. It really would. Alright, so there's some more concrete getting made. Am I punching concrete? I guess. I was punching limestone. I'm punching more pokey poke with my taser. Pokey poke. I might as well grab this
Data
from
shows
ma'am.
this is a mix of sulfide and sulfate minerals. It could be an indication of recent volcanic activity. A new research tree exploring volatile self-defense applications can now be accessed in the MAM.
Alright, Satisfactory DLC. What's it gonna have in it? What do you guys think? What is the DLC gonna be about? I mean, 90% chance that it has a map extension element to it, like makes the map bigger, and or a whole new map, like a separate planet. Volcano, I was just thinking about that Java Flex because she said, Ada just said like recent volcanic activity or something about the sulfur. So yeah, I can totally see a volcano. Extra satisfaction, yeah, that is likely to occur in a Satisfactory DLC. Yeah, I think... I'm curious. What do I think? I need way more concrete, eh? Let me first get some more fuel so I don't run out of fuel while I'm doing all these other things. 50... 50... 70 and 70. Underwater. Now there's... yeah, water could be a big focus. I could see that. That's not crazy. I feel like there's the obvious answers of just like, oh, new exotic materials, a new area on the map, you know, more tiers of stuff. But I don't know, it feels like they've already got the late game handled. So it almost feels like they would need to pull a Factorio and almost come up with like new game mechanics. Like, oh, now we're going to space and doing these things that are kind of actually different than what you were doing in the base game. Factorio, I feel like, wasn't that complicated to launch a rocket. Satisfactory is more complicated to beat Satisfactory 1.0 than Factorio was. I will say that. Whatever that means, I don't know, but... it leaves less room, I guess, at the top to add more complicated and more content at the top. As far as, like, more late game. Because Factorio is actually quite simplistic to beat the game, actually. Like, vanilla Factorio as it is, it's kind of... like, when you watch a speedrunner, you're like, wow, you really don't need to do much at all to launch a rocket and win. You know, it's actually very surprising. Yes, Space Age is completely changing that, obviously, but vanilla Factorio 1.0 or 1.1, the number of recipes you need to progress through and the complexity of those recipes is not that high. It feels like a lot. Like, my first run took many hours, of course. But like a speedrunner can do it in like an hour and a half. And I don't think a speedrunner could beat Satisfactory. I don't actually know. What's the... we could just Google it. What's the current world record Satisfactory speedrun? It is... speedrun.com, Satisfactory... well, package percent? What is package percent? 5... what? That certainly can't be it. I don't know what package percent means. I want, like, launched the space elevator, final... like, I know that's a category, but I don't know what that category means, is what I'm saying. Is that just sending the first to get to tiers 3 and 4? Because it literally, the package percent run is only 19 minutes, which is obviously not right. Not right for the type of thing I'm talking about, that is, which is like actually beating the game. It doesn't seem like there is a category for what I'm talking about. I'm actually quite confused on the speedrun.com Satisfactory stuff. There's package, 2 package, 3 package, 4 package, 5 package. Is that saying the tier 4 package? And all the runs are glitched, which also doesn't really answer my question. So that's kind of frustrating, but... Hey, Bold Viking and viewers, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all well. Thank you for these lads and lasses. You're all welcome in Crydania. For those who don't know, Bold Viking is a wonderful streamer. Are you still playing Pyanodons over there, Bold Viking? He has had way more stamina for Pyanodons than I ever have, so if you'd like to see what it looks like to have a real Pyanodons base, go check out Bold Viking. He's a great streamer. I think he's on YouTube and Twitch, so pretty easy to find. Almost at the 2-year mark, and this is not your first rodeo. You beat Pyanodons before, and it didn't take you long to turn around and start a new run, which was also a sign of your madness, I would say. Certainly a sign of your madness. But are you going to be playing Satisfactory, I guess is a question I have for you. I don't remember if you've ever gotten into Satisfactory or not. Or if you're just a Factorio guy. I know you got into Greg Tech New Horizons. So I could see you doing some Satisfactory. Madness would be doing the same thing over and over and hoping the outcome changes. I thought that was insanity. I thought that was opening the fridge over and over again and hoping there's new food in there. AKA the thing I do every day. Yes to Satisfactory. Last time you did it was update 4. Awesome. That's the last time I did it too. I was kind of just playing... What the... That's weird. I was just playing a little bit today to kind of get my feet wet again. You want to do it, but you can't see any free time in your schedule? Well, that's because you're filling it with Pyanodons, you dingus. You gotta sometimes clear the Pyanodons to do something else, you know. I bet you say that when you're thinking about sleep, too. I'd like to sleep, but I can't find any time in my schedule. Alright, this will be the location. I didn't want to... Even that could be slightly an issue, but I wanted to build a little higher. We'll have to use supports. I do like that they give you pillars. Ah, the sleep... Oh, tomorrow's the Stellaris DLC release, too? Oh, wow. I know, and the overlap's pretty big. I know a lot of people that love Stellaris are the similar people that are going to love Satisfactory. So yeah, that's a big day for a lot of people. Well, enjoy your sleep, Bold. Thank you so much for the raid. Alright, what should we buy? We need walls. Cooler walls. Like windows. Conveyor walls? Windowed walls. Oh, I need silica for that? Lame. Okay, well we won't be doing that today then. I'll do conveyor walls, I guess. Don't we all have that sleep thing? Everyone that's in Europe probably should be thinking that direction. Us US-based people still have a few hours before we need to think about that. And that's presuming we have a normal sleep schedule, which, I mean, let's be honest. Who wants that? Who wants that? I personally could never get into Stellaris that big. I tried once or twice, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't get into it. I have no good reason. Bounce and Boom, no. So what we're doing today is I'm pre-gaming. This is still the Update 8 experimental build, which is not the 1.0 build. So 1.0 releases tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern US time, which for you Europeans is 5 p.m. Central European time. So that is the story. So I'll be streaming more tomorrow. If you guys aren't already watching Bold Viking beat his head against the Pyanodons wall, I'll be here playing the new Satisfactory update. So today I was just wanting to try out one of the other starting areas to kind of see what it was like. I think I'm not gonna play the desert tomorrow. I think I'll do the grasslands one. It's just more pretty. I think the grassy area is a really beautiful area. I do like the look of this, but it's more Spartan. I feel like this area looks really cool if you build some really cool structures kind of sticking up from the landscape. But it's a bit more barren, and I think I like the green lush area a bit more. So I'll probably be starting in kind of the beginner area. The only downside to that is it puts you really far away from the rest of the map. But eventually, we're going to have trains that will go around the whole map for us, which is going to be great. So we won't need to worry about how far away we are. Okay, so we've got conveyor walls, center door walls, basic walls. I guess I'll need roofs too. Oh, I'm not zooping. You're right. I forgot zooping existed. Zooping. How do I do zooping? I haven't played since zooping got added. Okay. So this gives me the different thickness of foundations. I don't see zooping on the thing. Build mode, okay. Oh yeah, they also added that, where you can clip things through each other that don't matter. Press R. What's funny is, if you guys look at the bottom of the screen, there's about 1 million hotkeys it's telling me about, and R is not one of them. Oh, vertical. Oh, you can build, oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, I love this. And can you lock the zoop? You can. Wow. Neat. That's amazing. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I'll definitely want to build some indoor factory. Now, is this one of those weird things where the wall is different if you rotate it one way or the other? No, thankfully. It's the same. But yeah, I do want to do some indoor factories. I was really, like in my last Satisfactory run, I was really Spartan. I only had outdoor factories that were on just big flat swaths of foundation. I at least built support columns for those foundations, so they weren't floating. But I didn't do much more than that. And I think this time I want to go a little bit above that and have like actual walls and windows to the lower levels. And do some more verticality where like as one factory, you know, maybe I do the smelting on floor 1 and then I do the constructoring stuff on floor 2 or something. I want to do more of that because they have those cool floor. I didn't unlock it yet. I don't have enough awesome points. But the floor hole elevator belt things. What are those called? Hold on, I just butchered that. What are you called? Foundations? Walls? What was you called? You was called conveyor lift floor hole. There we go. Did I complete the final space elevator? No, I did not. I completed everything up to that because that's like the stretch goal, right? It costs extra because it's all there is to do right now in early access. So last time I played, I got through to the nuclear fuel rods and I got nuclear power and I did basically everything there was to do in the tech tree, but I didn't like build the factory to get that final step of the space elevator. So that was as far as we got last time. And this time I'm committed to beating the game, whatever that entails in the story mode, and then also ideally going further than that. I don't exactly know until we've kind of played a bit more what those goals will be, but I'm pretty excited about it. So that'll be good. Right now, I was just kind of pre-gaming, and my stream is actually coming to a close, unfortunately. I know you guys just got here, all of you raiders. But I was also sort of wrapping up. I'd like to build a little bit, but I just don't have the time. It's already 5:30 and I have to go do dinner. So, yes, that is a thing. But tomorrow I will be playing all day. Like, all day. I will take a break for food at some point, and then I'll keep playing. So I'm excited for that, and we will be starting probably in the grasslands. I might have a final change of heart, we'll see. But yeah, I would play more with the aesthetic stuff right now, but the problem is I have to get awesome sync points. I guess I could cheat and do that, but I'm excited to do stuff with roofs and beams and pillars. A lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I think we'll probably just call it a stream here. And maybe there's somebody else we can raid from the Red Circuit streaming world. Maybe? Nope. Unfortunately not. Oh, I feel bad. I always feel bad when I get raided with a bunch of people and then I don't have somewhere to send everybody. I just feel like I'm dropping you guys on the floor like a sack of potatoes. But you can just leave this window open, and in about 18 hours, the stream will pop back up again, and I'll be here. so I get it's a long break. That's all this is. It's just a long break. I'm not actually stopping the stream. We're just taking what did I say? I already forgot how many hours I said. 17-hour break. That's all. We'll be back. Or 18 hours, yeah. Yeah. You know, enough time for you guys to get a nap, eat dinner, stretch your legs, and then we'll be back. So I'll just put up the quick break indicator, and we'll just see you guys in 18 hours. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for hanging out. For those of you that are new to the Crydania channel, if you're interested, you can join the Crydania Discord. We hang out over there. We talk about all sorts of factory games and other games we're playing. A lot of active people there if you're looking for friends to chat with or people to play games with. There might be, we haven't figured it out yet, but there might be a community server for Satisfactory if people are interested in that, where, you know, people on the Discord play a run of Satisfactory with each other and stuff. So if you are interested in that, let me know. I don't know who all is and isn't. I'd have to get that, a little bit of that figured out. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. So sleep well. Try not to stay awake too long thinking of Satisfactory. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. See you later, Rascally, Apophenia, Bounce and Boom, Edison, Nathan, whoever else is still hanging out here. Also, SRG Froster, I didn't respond to you when you said this, but being stoked for the 1.0 release. You've waited with playing it. I've felt that way too. I haven't played since that update 4 because of the same reason. See you later, Edison.